Chapter 12:17. Golden Ghost Great Sage's pupils constricted slightly as he said slowly, "The true ruined celestial race is related to countless powerful races in the eternal road by marriage. Heavenly Saint, are you really going to kill them all? In this way, it'll be difficult for you to take a single step in the central star field, and you'll be surrounded by enemies everywhere." Yang Feng said coldly, "So what? I'll kill my way over to them one by one and exterminate them all. Someone will always bow down to me." Furthermore, the True Ruins God clan had in-laws with many powerful clans, but that was only with a portion of the powerful clans. As long as those powerful races hand over the people of the True Ruins God race, I can let bygones be bygones and pretend that nothing happened. I see. Not bad. The Heavenly Saint knows his limits. The Saint wills instantly spread out, and they felt relaxed. The True Ruins divine race did indeed have in-laws with many powerful races in the central star domain. But after all, he wasn't related to everyone in those powerful clans by marriage. As long as they hand over the True Ruins God, Yang Feng will let bygones be bygones, allowing many strong races in the central star field to breathe a sigh of relief. Yang Feng scanned the void where the holy wills converged and said with a cold smile, "Void Eyes Tiger Holy, Star Moon Heavenly Snake Holy, I want to see Mycelia alive within 3 days. Otherwise, I will annihilate you one by one, just like how I annihilated the True Ruins God race. At that time, your vassals will have to exchange the heads of the saints and great sages of your races for my pardon. Otherwise, I'll kill them and bury them with Mycelia." Even if the Void-Eyed Tiger Saint and the Star and Moon Heavenly Serpent Saints' wills weren't hidden among the saints' wills that were gathered here, the wills of their subordinates were definitely hidden. "Stop, Sky Saint, I surrender, spare my life. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to." A black hole flashed, and Locust Great Sage was sucked into it, screaming miserably. After the black hole devoured the Locust Sage, it plunged into the mechanical sea of countless battle robots and quietly refined the Locust Sage. After a few dozen breaths, some ashes floated out of the black hole. So vicious! The Great Sage doesn't even want to surrender. As expected of a heavenly saint, the most terrifying genius of the human race. That's the devouring profundity. Every time he devours a saint, his foundation will become stronger. No wonder he went on a killing spree. The wills of the saints sent out waves of fluctuations and disgust in a small area. The Golden Ghost Holy took a deep look at the holy experts who are being devoured by Yang Feng, sighed slightly, blurred, and disappeared. Within the eternal star, the Star and Moon Heavenly Snake Saint stared at the Divine Remains fortress, his eyes flashing with fear. He said slowly, "How sure are you that you can resist that secret treasure?" The great void-eyed tiger sage shook his head slightly. "I don't even have a shred of confidence. That secret treasure was the foundation of a heavenly saint. Terrifyingly strong. Unless there are 4 experts with the same cultivation as us using emperor-grade secret treasures, we won't be able to destroy it." Starry Heavenly Serpent frowned and asked, "Mycelia, are you going to release him or not?" The great void-eyed tiger sage said decisively, "Release." It was best not to offend such a ruthless person. As long as Mycelia isn't dead, there's still room for negotiation. At most, we'll compensate him with hundreds of springs of immortality and bow our heads to him. For the great void-eyed tiger race, Yang Feng killed a great holy. For the great void-eyed tiger race, he is an enemy that cannot be resolved. However, Yang Feng possesses terrifying strength and ruthless methods. Even an eternal Empyrean race like the True Ruins divine race wants to exterminate him. The great void-eyed tiger sage is afraid, unwilling to gamble with the fate of his race. The Star and Moon Heavenly Snake wholly pondered for a while, and then nodded. 2 rays of light flashed slightly, and the 2 great sages disappeared from the star. The Basrina star field. There are wreckage everywhere in the starry sky, along with countless parts and fragments. Spatial rifts can be seen everywhere. Once an Infinity Warlock rank powerhouse gets close to a spatial rift, they will be swallowed and torn to pieces. Countless engineering robots are flying in the void and cleaning up the battlefield. The great void-eyed tiger sage and the star and moon heavenly snake sage request an audience with the heaven holy. The void twisted, and the two quasi-emperor rank powerhouses, the great void-eyed tiger sage and the star and moon heavenly snake holy, walked out of the void and uttered in a clear voice. Along with flashes of light, Yang Feng appeared in the starry sky. Behind Yang Feng, there are nearly 10 great holy. An indifferent expression on his face, killing intent surged in Yang Feng's eyes, and he said in a frigid voice, "What do you two want? Do you want to fight me to the death? The great sage of the true ruins has lost his mind and attacked your good friend, Mykelia. We are his friends, yet he didn't listen to our advice. We could only barely protect Mykelia. The two of us are also at fault in this matter. We are willing to compensate you with 500 springs of immortality each. What do you think?" The star and moon heavenly snake wholly pointed with a finger, ripples flickered, and Mykelia, who has already turned into an angel egg, appeared in the void. "That's not enough. In addition, you also have to help me find the above materials. Each of you has to find at least 3. If you miss one, you have to compensate me with a great holy." When Yang Feng saw Mykelia, his eyes shimmered softly, and he flicked his finger, and 2 balls of light entered the hands of the 2 quasi-empyrean step powerhouses. The void-eyed tiger wholly breathed a sigh of relief and said with a smile, "No problem." The star and moon heavenly snake wholly frowned and responded decisively, "Okay." The materials Yang Feng asked for are all precious treasures of heaven and earth that can be used to refine level 7 strongholds. Only an eternal Empyrean can take out such precious materials so readily. The void-eyed tiger wholly waved his hand, and Mykelia, who has already turned into an angel egg, flew back to Yang Feng's side. Yang Feng hugged the angel egg and heaved a sigh of relief. These days, Yang Feng has exterminated countless races for Mykelia. If Yang Feng hadn't killed the true ruins great holy, the void-eyed tiger holy wouldn't have handed over Mykelia so easily. With 2 flashes of light, Yang Feng grabbed the 2 spatial treasures, scanned them with his soul force, and revealed a look of satisfaction. "This matter ends here. I will only attack the true ruins divine race." "Thank you, Heaven Holy." The 2 great sages, including the great void-eyed tiger sage, smiled faintly, turned into streams of light, and disappeared. Holding Mykelia, who has turned into an angel egg, Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he disappeared. The triple Rakshasa divine eye race was exterminated, and the true ruins great holy was slain by the Heaven Holy. As soon as a message appeared in the Saint Realm forum, the entire forum exploded once again. The true ruins great holy was slain by the Heaven Holy? How is that possible? The true ruins great holy is a quasi-Empyrean step powerhouse with an Empyrean grade secret treasure. How could he be slain by the Heaven Holy? The true ruins great holy is a quasi-Empyrean step powerhouse. Even if he isn't a match for the Heaven Holy, but he shouldn't be killed so easily. How is this possible? Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. All the saints and great saints on the Saints Forum were shocked as soon as the news appeared. They didn't dare to believe this fact. The triple Rakshasa divine eye race is an extremely powerful Empyrean race. If it was an ordinary time, the extermination of an Empyrean race would definitely cause a sensation in the eternal starfield. However, the news of the triple Rakshasa divine eye race being exterminated is far less shocking than the news of a quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouse being killed. Every quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouse is an old monster of the eternal starfield, an invincible existence with the underlying strength of an eternal Empyrean race. As long as a quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouse is willing to pay the price, they can have the power to fight an Empyrean race to a stalemate. With heaven-defying strength, if a quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouse encounters any danger, they can escape. In the central starfield of the Eternal Path, there hasn't been news of a quasi-Empyrean being killed for more than 100,000 years. Only some quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouses die when their lifespan is up. The ancient Thunder Star. Heaven Holy Yang Feng is really scary. Even the true ruins great holy died in his hands. It turns out that he still has such a trump card hidden. Fortunately, I didn't make an enemy out of him at the time. When the Green Thunder Great Holy saw the news on the Holy Forum, his heart chilled, and he felt a lingering fear. In a secret place in the central starfield. When the devastatingly beautiful Empress Phoenix saw the Holy Forum, her beautiful eyes shimmered with unwillingness, and she said in a low voice, "Even a quasi-Emperorian rank powerhouse died in his hands. Heaven Holy Yang Feng is getting more and more terrifying. Can't I compete with him in this era?" The entire central starfield was stirred. Yang Feng's mechanical legion attacked the holy star occupied by the true ruins celestial day and night, sweeping everything in its path. The vassal races of the true ruins celestial betrayed the true ruins celestial and submitted to Yang Feng with the heads of the true ruins celestial. In the central starfield, countless powerful races drew a line with the true ruins celestial and offered them to Yang Feng. As an eternal Emperorian race, the true ruins celestial has tremendous potential power in the central starfield. At the same time, the true ruins celestial launched attacks and frantically fled towards the depths of the universe. Many true ruins celestial powerhouses tried to attack the celestial bodies captured by Yang Feng. But as soon as they appeared on those celestial bodies, they were besieged and killed by the battle robots stationed on those celestial bodies. Yang Feng's mechanical legion swept through the celestial bodies occupied by the true ruins celestial race as well as their vassals, and then stopped the expansion. The 13 eternal relic sites controlled by the true ruins celestial fell into Yang Feng's hands. Of the 13 eternal relic sites controlled by the true ruins celestial, 10 are specifically used to cultivate powerhouses below the holy step. Only 3 are effective for powerhouses above the holy step. Chapter 12:18. The 3 eternal relic sites that have a miraculous effect on holy step powerhouses are the True Ruins Divine Pool, the Eternal Star, and the Garden of the Divine Ruins. In the center of a huge star, there is a pool of water with a diameter of only 100 meters. The water in the pool is so clear that the bottom can be seen at a glance. The star continuously extracts the power from an area of tens of thousands of light-years in radius, converges it into the pool of water, and nourishes the pool of water with a diameter of less than 100 meters. The star is silent, without a trace of life force, and all the power converges into the pool of water. This pool of water is one of the underlying assets of the True Ruins Divine Race, the Eternal Relic Site True Ruins Divine Pool. The True Ruins Divine Pool has the miraculous effect of being reborn, recasting the foundation, and nourishing the soul. Even if the soul of a quasi-Emperorian rank powerhouse is injured, they can heal in the True Ruins Divine Pool. The reason why the True Ruins Divine Race has so many experts and holy step powerhouses is because of the underlying assets of the True Ruins Divine Pool. Floating in the center of the True Ruins Divine Pool, an angel egg continuously absorbs the power of the pool. Standing next to the True Ruins Divine Pool, Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and countless treasures of heaven and earth flew into the holy grade secret treasure Angel Kettle. The Angel Kettle is a treasure refined by a human quasi-Emperorian rank powerhouse in the past, and it is specially used to cultivate an angel legion. As long as a specific treasure of heaven and earth is put into the Angel Kettle, the Angel Kettle will refine Angel Holy Liquid. A drop of Angel Holy Liquid can enable a great Warlock rank angel to evolve into a Moonlight Warlock rank angel. Countless runes flashed, and golden holy angelic liquid poured out of the angel pot and poured into the angel egg. As the angel egg absorbed the Angel Holy Liquid, a tremendous amount of life force gushed out of the angel egg. 3 days later, a crisp sound rang out, and the angel egg cracked open. In an instant, a copious amount of cosmic energy within an area of tens of thousands of light-years in radius surged this way and formed a fearsome energy vortex. A steady stream of power was extracted and turned into a beam that entered the angel egg. Great Holy! Someone advanced to a Great Holy! Someone advanced to a Great Holy! Did a heavenly holy advance to a Great Holy? How can it be so fast? Outside the divine pool of True Ruins, the expressions of the scouts that the various powers had set up changed drastically when they sensed the unexpected change in the heavens and the earth, and a wisp of a solemn expression flashed in their eyes. The birth of a great saint-level powerhouse was a major event for any race. Even if an Eternal Emperor clan gave birth to a great sage, it would be a major event that would affect the ranking of the Eternal Emperor clan. After the beam of light slowly disappeared, the angel egg directly cracked open, and a great sage-level power wave diffused out from the angel egg. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with a peculiar glint, and he praised inside, as expected of a heaven and earth variant. As long as there are enough resources, it can evolve all the way. Mykelia was the Angel Queen, one of the strongest mutants in the universe. As long as she had enough resources, she could evolve to the half-emperor realm without any bottlenecks. Of course, due to the shackles of their bloodline and the limitations of the universe's energy level, it is very difficult for them to evolve into Warlock Emperor rank existences. Only in the Age of Eternals can true spirit rank variants of heaven and earth be born with Warlock Emperor rank power. At present, it is very difficult for even a true dragon to promote to a Warlock Emperor. Brother, you saved me again, that's great. Mykelia flew out of the angel egg, threw herself into Yang Feng's arms, and spoke coquettishly. Yang Feng hugged Mykelia and smelled her familiar fragrance, and the killing intent in his heart slowly dissipated. Mykelia poked her little head out of Yang Feng's arms, and her eyes shimmered with scorching fighting spirit. Brother, I advance to a great sage. This time, Shiryu is definitely not my opponent. Has she come back? Back then, when Shiryu was born, she suppressed Mykelia. Now Mykelia's greatest wish is to teach Shiryu a lesson. Yang Feng sighed slowly. Not yet. I still don't know her whereabouts. The only thing I can be sure of is that she hasn't died yet. The Star Moon Heavenly Snake Holy has confessed that he sent a great sage to hunt down Shiryu. But unexpectedly, Shiryu's battle prowess is astonishing, and she has a variety of life-saving secret treasures. Yang Feng used Fate algorithm, but still couldn't find any traces of Shiryu. Only through the power of fate can he vaguely perceive that Shiryu hasn't died yet. Mykelia gritted her teeth and said, "It's all that damn God Emperor's fault. I must kill him to avenge big sister Shiryu." After Mykelia sealed herself and turned into an angel egg, she can still sense what's going on in the outside world. The True Ruins Great Holy and the other two powerhouses didn't shy away from saying that they came to capture them with the guidance of the God Emperor. Without the guidance of the God Emperor, even a quasi-Emperorian rank powerhouse wouldn't be able to find a top holy like Mykelia and Shiryu. Yang Feng wiped out the True Ruins Divine Race's forces in the Central Starfield. However, there are still several True Ruins Divine Race's holy ones who escaped the Central Starfield. Even he can't find them. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with frigid killing intent, and he uttered frigidly, "God Emperor. Sooner or later, I will kill him." The God Emperor, the Black Eyes Ogre Emperor, and the Lesser Thunder Emperor are the three most heaven-defying geniuses in the Central Starfield of the Eternal Path. Each of them is the reincarnation of an ancient Empyrean or their successor, and they are far stronger than other powerhouses of the same rank. After the Lesser Thunder Emperor was killed by Yang Feng became very vigilant against the God Emperor and the Black Eyes Ogre Emperor. But he didn't expect the God Emperor to be so vicious and decisive. If Yang Feng's response had been the slightest mistake, he would have been smashed to pieces and become a pile of bones in the Eternal Star. Yang Feng's eyes flickered coldly and he said unhurriedly, "But before that, the most important thing is to improve our strength. As an overlord of an era, the God Emperor is tyrannical and has unfathomable underlying strength. Yang Feng doesn't dare to attack him rashly. The True Ruins Divine Country is the base of the True Ruins Divine Country. After the True Ruins Divine Country was defeated by Yang Feng, it fell into his control. The entire True Ruins Divine Country has now turned into a huge fortress. There are all kinds of mechanical towers and munitions factories everywhere, and all kinds of weapons are being manufactured. In the center of the True Ruins Divine Country, a beautiful and luxurious palace has been built. The palace, which seems to be the center of the True Ruins Divine Country, is continuously extracting elemental energy. Sitting in the center of a temple, Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and the god armor of twilight shone, and countless runes emerged and turned into a black hole that devoured another Empyrean-grade secret treasure, the 3 Killer God Eyes crown. After the God Armor of Twilight devoured the 3 Killer God Eyes crown, countless runes flickered and trembled. The 3 Killer God Eyes crown exuded wisps of immortal Empyrean might that resisted the God Armor of Twilight's devour. The 3-Moment Divine Eyes crown was an Emperor-level secret treasure that had been passed down for countless years by the 3-Moment Divine Eyes clan. It was also a secret treasure that had developed intelligence. Naturally, it was unwilling to be swallowed by the Divine Armor of Dawn. Yang Feng looked at the struggling 3 Killer God Eyes crown with a cold ray in his eyes, then countless runes shone all over him, and he took a step and merged with the God Armor of Twilight. Countless runes shone on the God Armor of Twilight and formed a fearsome black hole that swept towards the 3 Killer God Eyes crown. The devouring power that could devour everything enveloped the 3-Moment Divine Eyes crown, crazily devouring everything within it. The 3 Killer God Eyes crown only persisted for 4 hours before it began to collapse and merge with the God Armor of Twilight. The black hole disappeared, and a vertical eye containing endless mysteries appeared on the top of the God Armor of Twilight's visor. After the God Armor of Twilight devoured the 3 Killer God Eyes crown, a tremendous amount of pure force and a large amount of information poured into Yang Feng's body. Feeling the changes in his body, the corners of Yang Feng's mouth rose slightly. The God Armor of Twilight bears my path. If it can devour more Empyrean-grade secret treasures, it can become more powerful. Unfortunately, every Empyrean-grade secret treasure has a master, making it difficult to devour one. Empyrean-grade secret treasures are very rare. The True Ruins God race only has the True Ruins God Sword, which is an Empyrean-grade secret treasure. The True Ruins God Sword has already been refined by the God Bone Fortress. In this battle, Yang Feng only obtained the Empyrean-grade secret treasure, the 3 Killer God Eyes crown. In the Central Starfield, there are many Empyrean-grade secret treasure, each of which has an Empyrean-grade secret treasure. However, the relationship between these Empyrean races is very close in the Central Starfield, and they have countless allies. This time, Yang Feng went crazy for Mycelia. In order to exterminate the True Ruins God race, he exterminated the 3 Killer God Eyes race. He had enough of an excuse to exterminate an Empyrean race. But if he exterminated an Empyrean race in the Central Starfield for no reason, then the Empyrean races and eternal Empyrean races in the Central Starfield will no longer tolerate Yang Feng. Yang Feng spread the fingers of a hand, and a True Ruins God fruit appeared on his palm. He swallowed it and closed his eyes. The God Armor of Twilight shone, and a copious amount of force poured into Yang Feng from the Kunmo Capital Stone. In an instant, the laws of the Nether were triggered, and a tremendous amount of cosmic energy poured into the True Ruins Divine Country within an area of millions of light-years in radius. The God Armor of Twilight evolved into a black hole that devoured everything and frantically devoured the energy vortex within an area of millions of light-years in radius. A fearsome energy storm surged within the area of the True Ruins Divine Country. Chapter 12:19. Countless treasures of heaven and earth flew towards Yang Feng. A devour black hole appeared around Yang Feng, swept the treasures of heaven and earth into it, and devoured them. Countless runes appeared on Yang Feng's body, and a devour black hole suddenly rose, suspended in the void, and grew larger and larger. The diameter increased tenfold from 100 meters, 1,000 meters, 10,000 meters, and finally expanded to 100,000 kilometers. The energy gathered from millions of light-years away was completely devoured by the terrifying black hole. A great holy step power spread from Yang Feng and soared into the sky. Great Holy! Another person has advanced to a Great Holy. Devour black hole, essence of devour, this is a Heaven Holy. A Heaven Holy has advanced to a Great Holy. What a fast speed! He actually advanced to a Great Holy. Who else can stop him? When the scouts of the major forces saw the devour black hole, their countenance changed dramatically, and they sent the news back to their forces. A Heaven Holy has advanced to a Great Holy. This piece of news once again appeared on the Saint Forum, causing an uproar in the entire forum. Impossible? How can it be so fast? The heaven holy Yang Feng has cultivated for less than 1,000 years, how can he advance to a great holy so quickly? How is this possible? The God Emperor and the Black Eyes Ghost Emperor haven't advanced to a great holy, so how can a heaven holy advance to a great holy so quickly? Is he really going to become the 9th Warlock Emperor of the human race? The entire Saint Realm Forum was in an uproar, and countless saints and great saints were discussing it animatedly. Every great holy step powerhouse has an immortal body that is close to perfection. Every great sage was an existence that could shake heaven and earth. Many races haven't been able to give birth to a great holy for countless years. For Yang Feng to have already set foot in the great holy domain in less than 1,000 years of cultivation is simply heaven-defying. The ancient thunder star. The green thunder great holy looked at the holy forum with shock in his eyes. Great holy? So fast? How can he advance to a great holy so quickly? Even among the human race's 8 warlock emperors, there was no one who advanced faster than him. How fearsome! As expected of a peerless genius of an era. The mother planet of the great void-eyed tigers, the glorious tiger planet. In a secret pocket dimension on the planet of the radiant tiger, the great sage of the void-eyed tiger sat in the middle of a blue sea, his eyes flickering with astonishment. He became a great sage. What incredible speed! Heavenly Saint, how could his cultivation speed be so fast? He had actually become a great sage before the God Emperor. Fortunately, I didn't offend him to death back then. Star Moon Heavenly Snake Clan's home star, Moon Deity Nation. In the divine kingdom of the star field, there was a sea of stars formed by the convergence of star power in the center of a floating 108 stars. In this sea of stars, there were many beautiful girls from the starry Moon Heavenly Snake Clan that could cause the downfall of a nation. In the middle of the sea of stars sat a person. It was the Star and Moon Heavenly Serpent Great Sage. Star and Moon Heavenly Snake Great Sage sighed faintly. Great Sage? Heavenly Saint was one step faster than everyone else. How terrifying! Once he becomes a great sage, who on the eternal road will dare to oppose him? The Holy Spirit Warlock rank Yang Feng has already dared to destroy the true ruins primordial race. However, on the eternal road, the Holy Spirit Warlock rank Yang Feng still has the possibility of being killed. As long as a few quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouses use all kinds of trump cards, it is still possible to kill Yang Feng. But now that Yang Feng has advanced to a great sage, the difficulty of killing him has increased by more than tenfold. In the Myriad Soul Temple, in front of an Empyrean statue. Great Sage. To advance to a great sage so quickly, the Heaven Holy is really extraordinary. That's a monster with a perfect soul for you. The tyrant demon Dragon Holy looked at the news on the Holy Forum with a complicated feeling in his heart and said slowly. When the tyrant demon Dragon Holy woke up, Yang Feng was just a small warlock monarch. If it wasn't for the brilliant great sage's support, the tyrant demon Dragon Holy wouldn't have taken Yang Feng seriously. But Yang Feng, who he didn't care about at the time, has already advanced to a great sage in less than 1,000 years, far surpassing him. This naturally made him jealous and envious. In the central starfield of the Eternal Path, in an eternal relic site, there is raging fire everywhere. Any fire in this relic site can easily burn an infinity warlock rank powerhouse to ashes. In the center of the eternal relic site shrouded in endless fire, there sits a beautiful woman with an extraordinary temperament. She is the Phoenix Empress. Wisps of advanced Holy Spirit rank fluctuations of power diffuse from her. The Phoenix Empress sighed faintly. A great sage, the Heaven Holy actually advanced to a great sage. Such an opponent is really despairing. Since he could defeat the minor Thunder Emperor, he isn't a fool who disregards his foundation and forcefully advanced. On the Empyrean path, he has already surpassed us by too much. The Phoenix Empress is a pure bloodline Empyrean of the Fenghuang race, and pure Fenghuang blood flows inside her. As long as she practices cultivation, she will advance to a great sage in the future without any suspense, and advancing to a quasi-empyrean will be far easier than others. She is a heaven-defying powerhouse, invincible in the same rank. However, if she wants to accumulate enough strength to advance to a great sage, it will take her at least 500 years. At this time, Yang Feng has already advanced to a great sage. He is at the forefront of all supreme geniuses of this era, which naturally fills her with anxiety. Great sage. The Heaven Holy has advanced to a great sage. So fast. Great sage, what a fast speed. Among the 8 warlock emperors of the human race, none can compare to him in speed of advancement. In the central starfield of the Eternal Path, countless powerhouses were shocked by the news. The Eternal Relic Site, brilliant divine domain. With flashes of light, the Azure Great Holy came to the center of the brilliant divine domain. The Azure Great Holy looked at the God Emperor surrounded by brilliant light with a complicated look in his eyes, and he said slowly, "My lord, the Heaven Holy Yang Feng has advanced to a great sage." The God Emperor, who was surrounded by endless divine light, slowly opened his eyes. His eyes flickered with an incomparably resplendent brilliance, as though he was an invincible god. The God Emperor's eyes flashed with surprise, and he uttered slowly, "A Heaven Holy has advanced to a great sage? What a fast speed!" What? The true ruins celestials were annihilated, and the true ruins great sage died? The God Emperor swept an intelligence crystal with his gaze, and his expression, which seems to remain unchanged since time immemorial, finally flickered. A dignified look in his eyes, the Azure Great Holy uttered, "That's right. The Heaven Holy used a secret treasure to quell the true ruins great sage." Even if a Holy Spirit warlock has an Empyrean grade secret treasure, but if they go all out, they can at most injure a quasi-Empyrean step powerhouse. Yet the true ruins great sage was killed by Yang Feng, which is simply incredible. The God Emperor frowned slightly and said unhurriedly, "An eternal treasure. It seems that Yang Feng has an eternal treasure, or the wreckage of an eternal treasure. As expected of a supreme genius of this era, he's really scary. He can't be allowed to continue to grow. It seems that I have to do it myself." The God Emperor's eyes flashed coldly, countless runes flickered, and he turned into a whirlpool and frantically absorbed the surrounding brilliant light. Within a radius of several 100,000 light-years, a series of extremely terrifying energy tides were set off. A tremendous amount of energy gathered from all directions, forming many terrifying energy vortexes that descended from the sky and poured into the Divine Emperor's body. Countless mysterious runes flickered, and great holy step fluctuations of power spread out from the God Emperor and swept in all directions. Great Holy! The God Emperor has also advanced to a Great Holy. As expected of the God Emperor, he's really powerful. He can step into the Great Holy realm at any time. The Heaven Holy finally met his match. In the periphery of the brilliant divine domain, when the powerhouses of the major forces sensed the great holy step fluctuations of power from the God Emperor, their eyes flashed with joy. Originally, the forces attached to the God Emperor were in a state of panic because of Yang Feng's advancement to a Great Holy. But after learning that the God Emperor has advanced to a Great Holy, they calmed down. The Azure Great Sage stared at the God Emperor, who was enveloped in endless divine light, and smiled. "As expected of my lord. You've come this far." Engulfed in the brilliant divine light, the Divine Emperor's aura rose madly from the early Great Holy Realm to the pinnacle intermediate Great Holy Realm before stopping. The higher the rank, the more difficult it is for a powerhouse to advance further. For ordinary Great Holy, advancing from the junior Great Holy to the pinnacle intermediate Great Holy is no less difficult than advancing to a Great Holy. But the God Emperor advanced to the pinnacle intermediate Great Holy as soon as he broke through the bottleneck. The depth of his underlying strength is simply astonishing. When the God Emperor opened his eyes, they flickered with brilliant light, and he said flatly, "Send a message to the Heaven Holy. In 15 days I will fight him to the death in the eternal arena." The Azure Great Holy replied respectfully, "Yes, my lord." In the starry sky of the true ruins divine country, suddenly, ripples appeared in the space. 3 battle stars patrolling the starry sky flashed, and 3 beams of Saints slaughtering artillery barreled towards the ripples. Space rulers suddenly appeared, distorted the void, and turned the void into countless spatial blades. I am the Azure Great Holy, an emissary sent by the God Emperor. With a flash of light, the Azure Great Holy was forcibly squeezed out of the void, but he was riddled with scars from the spatial blades. The Azure Great Holy has just squeezed out of the chaotic space when he was faced with the attack of 3 Saints slaughtering artillery. His complexion changed dramatically, and 36 azure rhombus crystals appeared around him. When the 3 beams of light from the Saints slaughtering cannons slammed into the boundary formed by the 36 azure rhombus crystals, they directly shattered the boundary and swallowed the Azure Great Sage. After the sacred slaughtering cannon's light disappeared, the tattered Azure Great Sage was revealed. Chapter 12:20. What an amazing warship! The Azure Great Sage glanced at the warship with a look of fear in his eyes. The warship's main artillery can seriously injure a Great Holy. If the Azure Great Holy hadn't opened a magic boundary in time, he would have been seriously injured. Each Great Holy Step powerhouse has cultivated for more than 10,000 years on average. As for warships that can threaten Great Holy, it takes at most 1 year to build. Proficient in countless secret methods, the Azure Great Holy can tell at a glance that the warship was built less than 3 months ago. Countless rays of light shone, and one warship after another appeared. A total of 30 warships appeared in the void. Tens of thousands of battle robots appeared in the void and surrounded the Azure Great Holy. You are the Divine Emperor's emissary? Come with me. His lord wants to see you. The Anshimo Great Holy walked out of the void and glanced at the Azure Great Holy with contempt in his eyes, and he uttered coldly. The Azure Great Holy nodded and followed the Anshimo Great Holy towards the True Ruins Divine Country. In a luxurious palace, Yang Feng is sitting on a throne and restraining his power, looking like an ordinary person. Below Yang Feng's throne, there are holy and great holies standing, and fearsome breaths revolving around the holy and great holies. Greetings, Heaven Holy! As soon as the Azure Great Holy entered the palace, he saluted Yang Feng. Yang Feng asked coldly, "What does the Divine Emperor want to see me for?" The Azure Great Holy replied with a smile, "Heaven Holy, Sir Divine Emperor wants to fight you to the death in the eternal arena." The Cloud Dragon Great Holy's face fell, and he uttered, "The eternal arena? Your Majesty, you can't agree. The eternal arena is an eternal relic. Once you enter the eternal arena, the outside world can no longer interfere with what happens inside. Only when one of them died would the other be able to leave the dual arena alive. Your Majesty, you must not be impulsive and go to the eternal arena to fight the Divine Emperor." The silver brilliant Great Holy's face fell, and he dissuaded, "Your Majesty, you are destined to ascend to the throne in the future. Why fight the Divine Emperor now? After a few hundred years, who will be your opponent?" Yang Feng's cultivation speed is faster than that of the reincarnations of old monsters such as the Divine Emperor, the Black Eyes Ghost Emperor, and the Small Thunder Emperor. If he didn't die, he would certainly be the 9th Warlock Emperor of this era. The Cloud Dragon Great Holy and them naturally don't want Yang Feng to take risks. Yang Feng raised his hand, and the Holy Ones and Great Holy Ones who wanted to admonish quietened down. Yang Feng said with a cold smile, "What makes the God Emperor think that I will fight him to the death? A God Emperor was the reincarnation of an emperor. Once he became a great sage, he would be able to fully grasp the power of a great sage. I'll need at least 10 years to fully grasp the power of a great sage. What makes him think that I will fight him to the death now?" Those monster-level geniuses who were the reincarnations of old monsters could quickly grasp the power of the greater hidden realm every time they advanced to a new realm. After all, they had already grasped that power once. A newly promoted Great Holy like Yang Feng needs to practice cultivation to be able to truly grasp the Great Holy Step power. The Azure Great Holy uttered with a smile, "My lord has the whereabouts of the Jade Stone. If you agree to fight my lord, then as long as you win, my lord will offer you the whereabouts of the Jade Stone. Moreover, as long as you can defeat my lord, all of my lord's forces will swear allegiance to you." What a big bet. All of the forces controlled by the God Emperor, what a big bet. The great holy present inhaled a breath of cold air, and a dignified shade flashed in their eyes. The God Emperor was the reincarnation of a warlock emperor rank powerhouse. He had countless treasures and countless powerhouses under his command. His forces covered the entire eternal path. At the time, he could even send several holy ones to capture the Jade Sound Holy. In terms of forces alone, the God Emperor's forces are much stronger than the current Yangfeng's. Yang Feng uttered flatly, "For me, it is only a matter of time before I surpass the God Emperor." The Azure Great Sage smiled faintly and said, "My lord has the blue mirror of fate. The blue mirror of fate contains the profound meaning of fate. If the heavenly saint wanted this mirror, he could only obtain it in the eternal duel arena. Otherwise, when you ascend to the heavenly holy's throne in the future, my lord will be no match for you. At the very least, he can leave unhurriedly." The blue mirror of fate? 3 fate treasures. No wonder he was able to find the place where Mycelia and the Jade Stone are. When Yang Feng heard this, his pupils constricted slightly, and his eyes shimmered with a dignified shade. The blue mirror of fate, the veil of fate, and the net of fate are 3 fate-type Empyrean grade secret treasures of the world of warlocks, and they contain the essence of fate. These 3 fate-type Empyrean grade secret treasures are treasures refined by Eternals in the Eternal Sovereign Era. Although these 3 Empyrean grade secret treasures don't have formidable offensive power, but they contain the power of fate, making them extremely mysterious. They are treasures that emperors of all generations desire the most. The 8 warlock emperors of the human race suppressed the world and plundered nearly all the treasures of the universe. However, no one has ever obtained the 3 fate-type Empyrean grade secret treasures of legend. Yang Feng uttered flatly, "If I get the blue mirror of fate, it will be a piece of cake to wipe out the remnants of the true ruin's celestial race. Will your master allow this treasure to fall into my hands?" The power in Yang Feng's hands at this time is astonishing. It is stronger than that of an eternal emperor, and it is growing stronger by the day. Countless battle robots and ruler series battle robots walked out of the munitions factories. The remnants of the true ruin's celestial race are not Yang Feng's opponent at all. But after all, they still have holy steps alive. After they escape into the vast universe, Yang Feng can't chase them down. Once the blue mirror of fate falls into Yang Feng's hands, the remnants of the true ruin's celestial race will be doomed. They won't be able to escape Yang Feng's pursuit. The Azure Great Holy uttered, "In the eternal arena, only one person can survive. If you can slay my lord, Heaven Holy, you will be the emperor of this era in the future. If the blue mirror of fate falls into your hands, it will increase the vitality of our universe. If you die, my lord can plunder everything you have and become stronger. My lord can also promise that if you die, my lord will absolutely not take revenge on your subordinates and relatives. After all, the real enemy of all of us is the Gamana universe's powerhouses." Admiration flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he uttered decisively, "The God Emperor is really an amazing enemy. Okay, I agree to fight him to the death in the eternal arena." The complexions of the Cloud Dragon Great Holy and the other Great Holy flickered. But when they thought of Yang Feng's Godbones Fortress, which can slay quasi-Empyrean powerhouses, they felt relieved. No matter how strong the God Emperor is, he has just advanced to a Great Holy. He is much worse than a quasi-Empyrean powerhouse. The Godbones Fortress can slay a quasi-Empyrean powerhouse. With this secret treasure, Yang Feng is clearly in an invincible position. The Azure Great Holy smiled and saluted Yang Feng, and then his figure fluttered, and he disappeared from this place. The God Emperor and the Heaven Holy will fight to the death in the eternal arena. As soon as the news came out, it set off an uproar in the Holy Forum. The God Emperor is decisive and ruthless. As soon as he made a move, he forced the Heaven Holy to fight. The God Emperor is betting everything he has on this time. If the Heaven Holy can kill him, then everything he has will become the Heaven Holy's. But if the God Emperor wins, he will get all the treasures the Heaven Holy has. From then on, no one can control him. This is a battle of life and death between two invincible overlords. If one of them survives, he will be the first to die. If one of them survives, then no one on the eternal path can compete with that person. Who do you think will win, the God Emperor or the Heaven Holy? The God Emperor, of course. After all, he is the reincarnation of an Empyrean. Who knows how many trump cards he has? But the true Ruin's Great Holy was suppressed by the Heaven Holy. That's right. If the God Emperor can't deal with the Heaven Holy's eternal treasure, he will lose. The God Emperor is stronger, but the Heaven Holy's secret treasure is more powerful. In the Holy Forum, there is a lot of discussion among the holy experts. One after another, holy experts rushed back from afar and flew towards the eternal duel arena. In the eternal duel arena, between Yang Feng and the God Emperor, only one will survive in the end. However, the one who survived would definitely be able to devour all of the other's resources and become even more powerful. The ancient Thunder Star. There was a dignified look in his eyes, and the Green Thunder Great Holy sighed. The fight between the two will determine the pattern of the entire eternal path. I have to go. The Heaven Holy Yang Feng, I didn't expect him to grow so fast. If he wins this battle, there won't be anyone in the entire eternal road who would dare to go against him. I have to see this fight with my own eyes. I'm afraid that this fight will determine who will be the Empyrean of this era. I have to see it with my own eyes. The eternal duel arena, this fight will determine who will be the Empyrean. I didn't expect it to come so soon. The Heaven Holy and the God Emperor are peerless geniuses of our universe. Unfortunately, only one of them will survive. The one who dies will become a stepping stone for the one who survives, allowing the one who survives to become even more powerful. The old monsters hiding all over the eternal path were alarmed by the fight between Yang Feng and the Celestial Emperor, and they flew towards the eternal duel arena. After slaying the young Thunder Emperor, Yang Feng has become one of the three most outrageous geniuses on the eternal path. If he slays the God Emperor as well, only the Black Eyes Ghost Emperor will be left. But after Yang Feng absorbed everything of the God Emperor, unless there is an accident or a peerless opportunity, the Black Eyes Ghost Emperor will no longer be able to compete with Yang Feng. Chapter 12:21. The Eternal Arena is a huge celestial body comparable to the True Ruin's divine country. Unless it is a Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse, once anyone enters the Eternal Arena, they can only come out alive after completing the rules of the duel. So many saints! With a flash of light, the Jade Note Singing Saint appeared in the void and looked into the distance with a dignified look in her eyes. Outside the Eternal Arena, there are divine mountains, giant trees, celestial bodies, and warships floating, each of them exuding fearsome fluctuations of power. Saints are as common as clouds. Nearly half of the Eternal Path's central starfields, saints have gathered in the vicinity of the Eternal Arena. The Jade Note Singing Saint can still vaguely feel fearsome auras hidden in the void, which far surpass that of a saint. Little Sister Singing Saint, you came as well. I remember that you never liked to watch these fights. A silvery voice rang out from the side. The Shenin Muse Sage turned around and saw the Wuguang Saintess walking towards him with a smile. The Jade Note Singing Saint uttered with a smile, "Big Sister Wuguang, this is a duel concerning the birth of an emperor of this era. I naturally can't miss it." The Jade Note Singing Saint is a saint. In addition to her outstanding talent, she has also experienced countless battles and killed countless enemies. But after she advanced to the saint realm, she realized that the gap between her and those peerless geniuses is too great, and she has no hope of advancing to the emperor realm. This is why she avoided all kinds of fights and made friends. The Wuguang Holy Maiden uttered with a smile, "The God Emperor or the Heaven Holy, who do you think has a greater chance of winning?" The Jade Note Singing Saint sighed faintly, "The God Emperor. After all, she is the reincarnation of an emperor who was once invincible in the world. Moreover, she has been a saint for 3,000 years and has been a pinnacle saint since 1,500 years ago. She has been cultivating in the brilliant divine domain for 1,500 years. With her talent, she will only become more fearsome." The Wuguang Holy Maiden uttered with a smile, "Yes, the Heaven Holy is too impatient. If she can keep calm and cultivate for another few hundred years, then even the God Emperor may not be her opponent. Ripples suddenly appeared in the void, and 3 Vajra divine elephants that were tens of thousands of kilometers tall, exuding saint-level energy fluctuations, walked over, dragging a spirit mountain behind them. At the peak of the spirit mountain sat a tall and sturdy man with 3 ghost horns on his head. He was extremely handsome and had a pair of black eyes. Countless seals flickered in his eyes, and they were filled with a mysterious aura. Black-eyed Ghost Emperor. The black-eyed ghostly emperor is here too. He's here too. As soon as the man appeared, the gazes of the entire star field focused on him, filled with fear and respect. The black-eyed ghost emperor was also one of the 3 great monsters of the central star field on the Eternal Road. He was the reincarnation of an emperor's soul, and his battle prowess was heaven-defying. He was the strongest existence among sages, and could kill great sages. Even a half-step emperor expert would not be willing to offend such a monster. In the void, there were ripples, and the handsome emperor god with extraordinary temperament stepped out of the void. The Azure Great Saint, 6 other great saints, and 28 other saints were following behind the God Emperor. God Emperor. So this is the God Emperor, how powerful and unfathomable. If he can slay Yang Feng, he will surely be able to step into the Empyrean realm. When the saints in the void saw the God Emperor, all of their hearts trembled. From the God Emperor, they could vaguely feel a trace of Emperor's coercion. The black-eyed ghost emperor took a deep look at the God Emperor and said slowly, "I didn't expect you to choose the eternal arena to fight Yang Feng to the death." The God Emperor uttered flatly, "Our universe doesn't have much time. There is no benefit in delaying this any longer. Either I kill Yang Feng and become stronger, or I die and become a stepping stone for Yang Feng. Our universe must give birth to an eternal sovereign. Otherwise, everyone will become the prey of the Gamana universe." The black-eyed ghost emperor was silent for a while, then closed his eyes and uttered slowly, "I'm not as good as you." The void distorted, and one warship after another appeared. A total of 36 Holy Spirit battlestars emerged from the void. The black-eyed ghost emperor was silent for a while, then closed his eyes and uttered slowly, "I'm not as good as you." The void twisted, and one warship after another appeared. A total of 36 Holy Spirit battlestars emerged from the void. Heaven Holy. That's the Heaven Holy. He's the Heaven Holy who wiped out the True Ruins divine country. In the starfield, the eyes of the holy experts are focused on Yang Feng with apprehension. The True Ruins divine country is an eternal emperor race of the central starfield. Yet such a huge eternal emperor race was wiped out by Yang Feng. This naturally made the saints apprehensive. Yang Feng asked unhurriedly, "God Emperor, where is the blue mirror of fate?" The celestial emperor smiled and spread the fingers of a hand, and the blue mirror of fate, which contains traces of fate aura, appeared and shone with mysterious light as if revolving in a river of fate. So these are the 3 legendary treasures of fate. These are the 3 treasures of fate containing the mysteries of eternity. Greedy gazes gathered from all directions and stared at the blue mirror of fate. These are 3 treasures of fate, treasures that can even tempt a warlock emperor rank powerhouse. Yang Feng got up and walked towards the eternal duel arena. With every step he took, he crossed 10,000 kilometers and appeared outside the eternal duel arena in a few steps. Yang Feng silently recited an incantation and pointed at the eternal duel arena, and countless runes shone and entered the eternal duel arena. In the eternal duel arena, countless runes shone, and a contract containing eternity force suddenly appeared in front of Yang Feng and the God Emperor. The God Emperor glanced at the contract and wiped it with his hand, and the word, God Emperor, appeared on the contract. Yang Feng wiped it with his hand, and the word, Heaven Holy, appeared on the contract. Dazzling light shone, and the celestial emperor and Yang Feng were drawn into the eternal arena by the dazzling light. The God Emperor uttered calmly, "Heaven Holy, if I die in battle today, then I'll leave my subordinates to you. I hope you can treat them well. After all, we only have one enemy, the Gamana universe's powerhouses." "Okay." The god armor of dawn appeared on Yang Feng, and he pointed at the god emperor with the green sun halberd in his hand, looking like a heroic god of war. As expected of a peerless genius of this era. Heaven holy, if you weren't born in this era, you would be invincible. Unfortunately, you're doomed to die here. The god emperor took a step forward. Brilliant divine light revolved around him, and an Empyrean-grade secret treasure god of war armor and an Empyrean-grade secret treasure god of war halberd appeared in his hand. A vast and boundless terrifying pressure of the great sage light spread out from the god emperor's body and swept in all directions. Advanced great holy. How is this possible? The god emperor just broke through to the great holy realm 15 days ago. How could he have advanced to the advanced great holy realm? How could this be? Advanced great holy. How could he have advanced to the advanced great holy realm? It's only been 15 days. As expected of the god emperor. In 15 days, he has already advanced to the advanced great holy realm. How heaven-defying! The heaven holy has no chance of winning. When the Holy Ones present sensed the advanced great holy aura of the god emperor, their countenance changed dramatically, and they exclaimed in surprise. The cloud dragon great holy's face turned unsightly, advanced great holy realm. As expected of the god emperor. The silver glory great holy's face also turned unsightly. He advanced to the advanced great holy realm. Except for the true spirits of the eternal era, no one has ever advanced to the advanced great holy realm from the great holy realm within 15 days. As expected of the god emperor. When the black eyes ghost emperor saw this, his pupils constricted, his aura rippled, and he uttered unhurriedly, "Advanced great holy realm as expected of the god emperor." As expected of the god emperor. A scorching fighting spirit flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, countless runes shone on him, and he took a step forward and slashed out with the green sun halberd. 10 green suns emerged, merged into one, and turned into a green sun that slashed towards the god emperor with the power to burn mountains and boil seas. Heaven holy, die. Eyes flashing with fighting spirit, the god emperor brandished the halberd of the god of war like an invincible god of war and slashed with it. In an instant, countless powerful braves, who fought endlessly in their lifetime, were summoned from the river of history, gathered together, roared, and launched an attack together. Thanks to the essence of war, the attacks of countless braves tore through the sky and barreled towards the green sun in the sky. Boom! An earth-shaking explosion spread, the void collapsed, the space shattered, and a fearsome shock wave spread in all directions. Both the god emperor and Yang Feng were sent flying 1,000 kilometers away by that strike. It's a draw. How could this be? The heaven holy is actually a draw with the god emperor? How is this possible? The heaven holy is just a junior great holy. How can he be a draw with the god emperor? The saints were flabbergasted by this scene, and their eyes flickered with astonishment. Amazing! Really amazing! Heavenly Saint, you've really impressed me. If I were in the same era as you, I'm afraid that you would be the one to become an emperor. Unfortunately, I've lived one more life than you. You're destined to be defeated by me in this fight. With a scorching shade in his eyes, the god emperor took a step forward, and 365 avatars appeared and stabbed at Yang Feng with the halberd of the god of war. Yang Feng also took a step forward, and 365 avatars appeared and fought the god emperor with the green sun halberd. Chapter 12:22. Boom, boom, boom. The sound of explosions rang incessantly in the eternal battlefield. Mountains collapsed, the earth cracked, the sea turned upside down, stars fell, and one apocalyptic natural disaster after another broke out on the eternal battlefield. If it wasn't for the eternal battlefield being tyrannical, it would have been smashed to pieces by the aftermath of the fight between Yang Feng and the other party. In the eternal battlefield, countless martyrs who left their names in history appeared, roared, and attacked Yang Feng with weapons in hand. Each of the martyrs who left their name in history is a Holy Spirit Warlock rank powerhouse, and there is even no lack of great Holy Step powerhouses. The God Emperor used the halberd of the God of War's authority to summon these martyrs from the river of history and attack Yang Feng. The combat skills of each of these martyrs have been thoroughly tempered. In terms of combat skills alone, they even surpass Yang Feng's. When countless martyrs joined forces, they can even besiege a quasi-Empyrean steppe powerhouse. Devouring black holes appeared one after another, devouring the war-valiant spirits. Even so, the spirits of war heroes from different eras still used all kinds of incredible combat skills to leave scars on Yang Feng. Wielding the green sun halberd, Yang Feng chopped the martyrs from different eras into pieces one after another. Every time he killed a martyr from a different era, his power would be exhausted, and he would no longer be able to injure the divine emperor. As expected of the god emperor. Although Yang Feng can slay great holy, but in front of the god emperor, he is still too weak. Although Yang Feng is very strong, but compared to the god emperor, he is still too weak. After all, there is a gap of an era. If the heaven holy and the god emperor lived in the same era, the heaven holy would be able to suppress the god emperor. Unfortunately, the god emperor lived an era longer than him. Thoughts of regret and rejoice reverberated in the area. In the central starfield of the eternal path, the powerhouses admit that Yang Feng is despairingly strong. In the central starfield of the eternal path, except for the reincarnation of the god emperor, the Black Eyes Ghost Emperor, and other invincible overlords of an era, no one can compare to him. However, in today's fight, almost 90% of people are more optimistic about the God Emperor. Amazing as expected of the God Emperor. What a good opponent, he deserves my full strength. Second form. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered coldly, countless runes shone on the Dawn God armor, and a pair of mechanical wings suddenly unfolded, and countless mysterious and profound runes emerged on the mechanical wings. A steady stream of power poured into Yang Feng from the Kunmo stone, causing his aura to rise from the pinnacle junior Great Holy all the way to the advanced Great Holy realm. A brave who once dominated an era and ascended to the quasi-Empyrean position came over with a giant sword in hand and slashed at Yang Feng. Sword rays slashed towards Yang Feng with a breath of destruction. It's just a mark, break for me. Yang Feng smiled coldly and brandished his halberd, and a green halberd ray slashed at the martyr. 10 suns split the sky, slashed the martyr along with the few martyrs behind it. Rays of green halberd light revolved around the black holes as they slashed towards the God Emperor. Slashed by the halberd rays, the tyrannical martyrs who once left their mark in history collapsed and shattered bit by bit. After the halberd rays smashed the martyrs, they slashed towards the God Emperor from all directions. Countless runes shone on the God of War armor and protected the core of the God Emperor's body. The halberd rays slashed open numerous wounds on the rest of the body. The God Emperor was actually injured by him. The God Emperor was injured. This is the first time someone has injured the God Emperor. A wisp of shock flashed through the eyes of the saints and great saints outside the eternal battlefield. Since the God Emperor made his debut, he has never been defeated. He had won all of his opponents without suffering any injuries. This was the first time he had been injured by someone. Amazing, heaven holy. Ever since I killed the 3 Empyrean emperors, I have never been injured again. To be able to injure me, that's amazing. However, this is as far as you can go. The God Emperor sighed slightly, his eyes shimmered with admiration, and he silently recited an incantation and pointed with a finger. A sword covered in cracks, which looks like it will turn into dust if the wind blows, appeared and slashed towards Yang Feng with wisps of eternal breath. As soon as the sword appeared, Yang Feng's hair stood on end, and a strange premonition that he is destined to die here welled up inside him. Treasure of eternity. Yang Feng's face fell. With a thought, a rune emerged, and the God Bones fortress appeared in the void. In the center of the God Bones fortress, the Empyrean corpse opened its eyes and extended its hand, and a copious amount of corpse chi shot towards the sword. The sword descended from the sky and slashed down. Countless runes flickered, and a sword ray grew stronger and stronger. Virtually in an instant, it grew to the point where it can slice apart a world and slash towards the Empyrean corpse. The Empyrean corpse reached out and grabbed the sword ray, and a copious amount of corpse chi shot towards the sword ray. That saber light slashed down on the Emperor's corpse, piercing through the void and easily shattering the corpse chi. Then, it slashed down on the Divine Remains fortress. Boom! Amidst an earth-shaking explosion, the Emperor's corpse on the Divine Remains fortress along with the Divine Remains fortress were slashed into two by the terrifying saber light that shook the heavens and the earth. The eternal treasure in the Sky Saint's hand has been broken. The Heaven Holy's secret treasure that can slay a quasi-Empyrean powerhouse was broken. This time, the Heaven Holy is going to lose. Seeing this scene, the eyes of many holy ones on the eternal battlefield flashed with excitement. The Godbones Fortress is an eternal treasure that can slay quasi-Empyrean powerhouses. It is also a boulder weighing on the hearts of countless holy ones. Now that this treasure was broken by the God Emperor, the holy ones were very excited. When the quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouses hidden in the void saw this scene, they heaved a sigh of relief. Following a burst of brittle sounds, countless more cracks appeared on the scar-riddled blade, and countless fragments fell from the blade. The sword dimmed and lost all its luster, and then fell into the God Emperor's hand. The God Emperor smiled and pointed out, "This is the eternal treasure god of Warblade, an eternal treasure refined by eternal sovereigns during the eternal war. Now, I can only use it once. Heaven Holy, in this world, there are no invincible secret treasures, only invincible people. Your own cultivation is the foundation. If you can ascend to the position of Emperor in the future, if you can ascend to the Empyrean rank in the future, these broken eternal treasures can't hurt you at all." Yang Feng nodded and said, "I understand. The broken eternal treasures have world-shaking might that can slay quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouses. However, these broken eternal treasures can't do anything to an Empyrean rank powerhouse. A Warlock Emperor rank powerhouse can smash these broken eternal treasures with their bare hands. Your eternal treasure has already been destroyed by me. Now you can go to hell." The God Emperor smiled, then countless runes shone on him, his breath suddenly soared, and he pointed at Yang Feng with the halberd in his hand. Countless heroic spirits who left their names in history walked out from the river of history and entered the God Emperor's body. As the countless martyrs entered the God Emperor's body, the God Emperor's breath rose. As if an invincible transcendent, he stabbed his halberd at Yang Feng. In an instant, the halberd sealed the void and stabbed towards Yang Feng with an exquisite technique. After absorbing the power and fighting instincts of countless martyrs, the God Emperor's halberd has been thoroughly tempered. Yang Feng cannot avoid it. Third form. The God armor of twilight shone, and a devour black hole suddenly appeared. In the center of the devour black hole, a distorted and blurry projection appeared, and a devour bead flew into the projection's hand. Boundless devouring power would appear from that illusory figure. That illusory figure stretched out his hand and slapped towards the God Emperor. A fearsome black hole appeared in the projection's hand and enveloped the halberd. Terrifying war chi with war Upanishads swept over crazily, attacking the devouring black hole and tearing it apart bit by bit. Countless runes shone on the devour black hole and devoured the war chi. Two fearsome forces confronted each other in the void. Yang Feng's eyes flashed coldly, and a vertical eye appeared on the visor of the God armor of twilight. Countless runes shone in the vertical eye, and a ray of light tore through the sky and turned into a sharp blade shooting towards the God Emperor. Countless runes appeared around the celestial the arch, forming barriers. When the sharp blade stabbed into the barriers, it pierced through them and stabbed into the God Emperor's head. The God Emperor's soul was seriously injured, and the countless wisps of war chi collapsed. The devour black hole Yang Feng has transformed into swallowed the celestial emperor in one gulp and extracted his life origin frantically. Open! An earth-shaking roar came from the devour black hole. The halberd of the god of war, which is a condensation of the power of countless martyrs, tore through the sky, pierced through the devour black hole, and stabbed into Yang Feng like a meteor. The God armor of twilight shone, and countless runes appeared and formed layers of barriers. But the halberd still pierced through them and stabbed into Yang Feng. A fearsome aura of war erupted and blasted open a huge hole in Yang Feng's fleshly body. Chapter 12:23. The devour black hole was split apart by the halberd, and the God Emperor flew out of the Devour Black Hole and fell to the side, his aura dispirited. Yang Feng spewed out a large mouthful of blood. Countless runes shone on the Dawn God armor, and mechanical tentacles swept towards the halberd of the God of War and engulfed it, and frantically devoured its power. Countless runes shone, and seals swept towards the halberd of the God of War and weakened its power. "Come back!" The God Emperor beckoned with his hand, and the halberd of the God of War erupted with immortal Empyrean might, blasted Yang Feng away, and fell into his hand. A large amount of blood flowed out of the wound penetrated by the halberd of the God of War and dripped into the sky. The wound contains the mysteries of the law of karma, making it difficult for the wound to heal. Devour black holes appeared around the huge wound and devoured the law of karma. Both sides are injured. No, it's the Heaven Holy who has the upper hand. Amazing! His opponent is the God Emperor. To be able to gain the upper hand, the Heaven Holy is really strong. Seeing this scene, the hearts of the many holy venerables who are watching from outside turned cold. Killing intent flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, countless runes shone, and the Devour Black Hole suddenly appeared. The projection inside the Devour Black Hole opened its right hand and formed a black hole that shot towards the God Emperor. Amazing! If I were in the same era as you, I wouldn't be your opponent at all. Unfortunately, fate has decreed that you will be defeated by me. The God Emperor's eyes shimmered with admiration. Countless runes shone, and the blue mirror of fate appeared above his head. Countless blue runes shone, and a river of fate was reflected in the blue mirror of fate and swept towards this area. In an instant, everything in this void seems to have fallen into the control of fate. Under the effect of fate force, at the most critical moment, the injuries on Yang Feng's body, big and small, suddenly erupted. His wounds split open, his soul ached, and his body trembled. Sitting cross-legged in the Devour Black Hole, Yang Feng's hand trembled strangely, and the Devour Black Hole tilted slightly. The God Emperor took a leisurely step, easily avoided the Devour Black Hole, and brandished his halberd, and a fearsome halberd ray stabbed towards Yang Feng. When Yang Feng brandished the green sun halberd, he felt that the world was rejecting him, as if he was destined to be struck by a God Emperor. When the two halberd rays were about to collide, Yang Feng suddenly coughed. When the two halberds collided, the God Emperor's halberd of the God of War twisted, crossed the void, pierced through Yang Feng's barrier, and stabbed him with a huge wound. After succeeding in his attack, the God Emperor turned into a storm and attacked Yang Feng fiercely. Even though Yang Feng is in the third form of the God armor of Dawn's third form and his strength surpasses that of a God Emperor, but in an instant, he still suffered countless wounds on his body, dripping with blood. Originally, Yang Feng could block many of the attacks without suffering any injuries. But under the effect of the power of fate, all kinds of incredible coincidences keep happening, making it impossible for him to block the attacks of the God Emperor, resulting in many injuries. Heaven Holy, under the effect of the power of fate, you are destined to die in my hands. Give up resistance and I will give you a quick death. If you continue to struggle, you will only suffer more. The God Emperor shone brightly, and like a ruler of fate, he declared a fact. The blue mirror of fate appeared above his head and reflected a river of fate. The fates of countless life forms appeared in the blue mirror of fate. An image of Yang Feng being pierced by the God Emperor flew out of the blue mirror of fate and floated in the void. Fate? The power of fate is indeed formidable. However, Eternals, who have peeped into the mysteries of fate, died at the hands of powerful enemies. Therefore, although the power of fate is formidable, but it is not unrivaled. As long as you have the power to change fate, you can change fate. Fourth form, open. Cold light flashed in Yang Feng's eyes, and he barked. Countless runes flickered on the God armor of Dawn, and mysterious runes flew out and entered the Devour Black Hole projection. A crown appeared on the head of the Devour Black Hole projection, a Devour bead inlaid on its chest, and a gold horn appeared on its right hand. A terrifying aura that could suppress the heavens and dominate the world emerged from the phantom. Yang Feng took a step and merged with the projection. In an instant, a fearsome absorption force gushed out of the God armor of Dawn and frantically absorbed Yang Feng's power. The world ring in the small world inside Yang Feng shone brightly and frantically extracted the power of the small world inside him. In an instant, the small world full of vitality inside Yang Feng withered and dried up. Die! Yang Feng's eyes flashed fiercely, and he punched with his right fist, and a gold beam erupted from his right hand, smashed the fate force in the space, and barreled towards the God Emperor. Shield of Martyrs! The God Emperor's expression changed drastically. Countless runes appeared, and many heroic spirits that had emerged from the river of history appeared one after another. Countless defensive secret arts suddenly burst forth, forming layers and layers of defensive barriers. When the resplendent golden beam slammed into the defensive boundary of the countless martyrs, it easily pierced through the layers of defensive boundaries and blasted through the Celestial Emperor's lower body. Die, God Emperor! A torrent of time emerged, and Yang Feng appeared in front of the God Emperor almost in an instant and slashed down with his halberd, cutting the God Emperor in two. A devour black hole suddenly appeared and devoured the God Emperor, and a fearsome devour rune emerged and frantically devoured the God Emperor's life force origin. The devour black hole trembled. After a quarter of an hour, ashes drifted out of the devour black hole and sprinkled on the ground. He died? The God Emperor died? How is that possible? How is that possible? How could the God Emperor die? How could this be? Impossible, impossible. That was the God Emperor, that was the God Emperor. Outside the eternal duel arena, the minds of the holy experts surged, and their eyes shimmered with incredulity. The God Emperor has fallen. If there are no accidents, the Heaven Holy is bound to rise in this era. The Black Eyes Ghost Emperor took a deep look at Yang Feng, sighed slightly, and then blurred and disappeared. Shock flashed in the Green Thunder Holy's eyes, and he uttered unhurriedly, "The God Emperor was killed. From today on, no one on the eternal path will be able to block the Heaven Holy's path." The Void Eye Tiger Holy looked at the eternal duel arena, and fear welled up inside him. The God Emperor was killed. That was unexpected. Fortunately, I didn't form a feud with the Heaven Holy. The Star Moon Heavenly Snake Holy's eyes shimmered with apprehension. Heaven Holy, from today on, no one on the eternal path will dare to be his enemy. It seems that the human race is destined to give birth to a 9th Warlock Emperor. From today on, the era of 3 supreme geniuses standing side by side is over. This is the era of the Heaven Holy. No one can compete with the Heaven Holy anymore. Apart from the quasi-Empyrean steppe powerhouses, who else can compete with the Heaven Holy? Those incomparably tyrannical wills reverberated in the void. In the eternal duel arena, countless runes shone, and one spring of immortality after another appeared. The water from the 300 spring of immortality poured into Yang Feng and nourished his scarred body and soul. A devour black hole surrounded Yang Feng and devoured his karma spells. With the nourishment of the spring of immortality, Yang Feng's injuries healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. After devouring the Celestial Emperor, power containing pure soul origin entered Yang Feng and made him stronger. Yang Feng beckoned with his hand, and a dark gold box containing all the God Emperor's treasures flew into his hand. He took a step and walked out of the eternal duel arena. "Greetings, Lord. According to Sir God Emperor's will, from today on, Sir Heaven Holy is our new Lord. We will be loyal to you and fight for you as we were loyal to Sir God Emperor. Please take us in." When the Azure Great Holy and the other Great Holy and Holy Ones saw Yang Feng appear, grief flashed in their eyes, but they bowed respectfully to Yang Feng and uttered. Yang Feng glanced at the Azure Great Holy and uttered, "Okay, from today on, you are my subordinates." The Azure Great Holy and the other Great Holy and Holy Ones are powerhouses recruited by the God Emperor. Relying on them, the God Emperor was able to lay a foundation comparable to that of an eternal emperor on the eternal path. With the Azure Great Holy and the other Great Holy and Holy Ones relying on them, Yang Feng's power will increase geometrically. The Heaven Holy is going to take over the forces under the God Emperor. If the Heaven Holy gets the God Emperor's forces, who will be his opponent on the eternal path? Unless all of the eternal emperor clans on the eternal road join hands, No one will be able to match him. The Holy Ones looked at Yang Feng as if they are looking at the arrival of a new era, and their eyes filled with complicated emotions. Yang Feng's figure fluttered, and he appeared in his fleet. Those experts with ill intentions looked at the huge fleet and the experts around it. Everyone's heart shuddered as they watched the huge fleet fly into the distance and disappear into the void. Chapter 12:24. The God Emperor and the Heaven Holy fought in the eternal arena and died. As soon as the explosive news appeared on the Saint Forum, it caused an uproar in the entire forum. The God Emperor died. How is that possible? If the God Emperor died at the hands of the Heaven Holy, who else in the world is the Heaven Holy's opponent? After the God Emperor died, all his treasures and forces fell into the hands of the Heaven Holy. The rise of the Heaven Holy is unstoppable. This era is destined to be the era of the Heaven Holy. It seems that the human race is going to give birth to the 9th Warlock Emperor. In the Sage Forum, Holy Ones appeared one after another and discussed spiritedly. The Holy Ones who are close to the human race naturally rejoiced. The Holy Ones who are enemies of the human race, on the other hand, were extremely depressed. Countless forces went to the True Ruins Divine Country to express their goodwill to Yang Feng. Many superior races with Holy Ones came here of their own accord, hoping to become Yang Feng's vassals. Yang Feng's battle robots poured into the sphere of influence of the God Emperor like a tide and took control of the celestial bodies controlled by the God Emperor. On the celestial bodies, machinery rumbled, and numerous munitions factories were established on each celestial body. 6th-generation battle robots were being produced from the munitions factories. With each passing day, Yang Feng's forces are growing. The Myriad Soul Temple, the 9th Soul Mountain, in the Soul Pool. Sitting in the Soul Pool, a copious amount of pure soul force entered Yang Feng's body and nourished his soul. In the fight with the God Emperor, Yang Feng's soul suffered a lot of injuries. Even though he is proficient in countless secret methods, but he still has to recuperate in the Myriad Soul Temple. Yang Feng suddenly opened his mouth and belched a beam of light containing the law of war. Countless projections of martyrs flickered in the light, appeared in the void, and then collapsed and disappeared. As expected of the God Emperor. If it wasn't for the fact that the Dawn God armor I refined has evolved to the 4th form, this time I would be the one to die. When Yang Feng opened his eyes, they radiated resplendent light, and he sighed and said slowly, "The God Emperor is indeed the strongest enemy Yang Feng has ever encountered. The Young Thunder Emperor is slightly inferior to the God Emperor. Even the reincarnation of the King of Dawn and a genius like Feng Xuanzhen couldn't compare to the God Emperor. The divine armor of Shi is the treasure that carries my path. Swallow them." With a thought from Yang Feng, the halberd of the God of War surrounded by countless runes emerged, and countless mechanical tentacles gushed out of the armor of Dawn, entered the halberd of the God of War, and enveloped it. The halberd of the War God shone brightly, countless runes appeared, and a terrifying immortal emperor's aura spread out. Black holes emerged from the armor of Dawn, enveloped the halberd of the God of War, and slowly devoured the halberd of the God of War. An incomparably mysterious power came from the Kunmo Du stone, supporting the armor of Dawn, to swallow the halberd of the War God. The moment the halberd of the War God was devoured, a rune representing the mysteries of heroic spirits appeared on the left hand of the God armor of Dawn. Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and the God of War armor flew out and landed next to the God armor of Dawn. Countless tentacles emerged from the God armor of Dawn, enveloped the God of War armor, and devoured it. It has become a lot stronger. Unfortunately, it still hasn't undergone an essential transformation. However, it won't be that simple to undergo an essential transformation. The God armor of Dawn is connected to Yang Feng's heart. He can clearly sense that the God armor of Dawn has become a lot stronger after devouring 2 Empyrean-grade secret treasures. Unfortunately, it still hasn't undergone an essential transformation. As expected of the God Emperor's treasure trove, there are really a lot of treasures inside. Yang Feng spread the fingers of a hand, and the chest containing the God Emperor's treasure trove appeared in his hand. The chest contains the treasures the God Emperor plundered from all over the universe, each of which is extremely precious. Even a great holy step powerhouse will be tempted by them. With a thought from Yang Feng, a blue jewel, tranquility bead, suddenly appeared. The tranquility bead cracked open, and pure and exuberant life force poured out of the tranquility bead and swept towards Yang Feng. Nourished by the power of the tranquility bead, Yang Feng's aura soared again, countless runes flickered, and he broke through the pinnacle junior Great Holy Realm and advanced to the intermediate Great Holy Realm in one fell swoop. The God Emperor is also a powerhouse with superior level 9 soul aptitude. After Yang Feng devoured him, he absorbed the God Emperor's pure life force and laid a solid foundation. This is how he was able to break through and advance to a superior level 9 soul aptitude powerhouse so easily. Yang Feng looked at the God Emperor's collection with admiration in his eyes. The God Emperor's collection is really rich. If he didn't want to consolidate his foundation and advance to an eternal sovereign in the future, I'm afraid he would have already become a quasi-Empyrean step powerhouse. The God Emperor is the reincarnation of an invincible Empyrean. If he didn't want to consolidate his foundation and advance to the eternal sovereign realm in the future, he would have already advanced to a quasi-Empyrean step powerhouse. Of course, if the God Emperor advanced to a quasi-Empyrean step powerhouse early on, then he wouldn't be able to advance to an Empyrean step powerhouse in the future, let alone advance to the eternal sovereign realm. Blue Mirror of Fate, tell me, where is Shiryu? With a thought from Yang Feng, the blue mirror of fate suddenly flew out, floated in the void, and radiated dazzling light. A river of fate surged in the blue mirror of fate as if the fates of countless living beings were reflected in the mirror. Runes flew out and condensed into a scene in the void. Shiryu has turned into a stone statue embedded in a huge mountain range, and has fallen into an eternal slumber. If no one woke her up, she would be a stone statue forever in a deep sleep, until the day she obtained enough energy by chance. The light screen seemed to have been disturbed as it trembled and twisted. Finally, it collapsed, leaving behind a set of coordinates. So this is the power of fate. It's really mysterious and magical, much more magical than my fate algorithm. However, the fate algorithm should be a secret method created by an Empyrean or eternal sovereign who wields fate. With this secret method, I can use it as a foundation to pry into the essence of fate. Yang Feng operated the fate algorithm to pry into the essence of fate contained in the blue mirror of fate, and his understanding of fate increased greatly. The power of fate is extremely mysterious. In the world of warlocks, apart from eternal sovereigns, there are no more than 5 Warlock Emperor rank powerhouses who have grasped the essence of fate. Each of the human 8 Warlock Emperors was a peerless genius, a freak invincible in the same rank. However, none of them grasped the essence of fate. Of course, this is only recorded in the history books. Whether any of the human 8 Warlock Emperors grasped the essence of fate in their later years is unknown. Originally, Yang Feng didn't have any clue about the essence of fate. But after mastering the fate algorithm and obtaining the blue mirror of fate, he gained the ability to pry into the essence of fate. The dead silent starfield is a desolate and desolate starfield full of deathly stillness. Reportedly, this was once a battlefield of eternal sovereigns, and there are all kinds of strange phenomena everywhere. In this starfield, there are cosmic storms everywhere, and the void collapses and spatial rifts appear everywhere. Even if it is a Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse, they will be easily torn to pieces by the natural environment in this starfield. Only Holy Spirit Warlock rank powerhouses can barely survive here. In the deepest part of the dead silent starfield, even a great Holy Step powerhouse may die if they are careless. With a flash of light, Yang Feng appeared in the dead silent starfield. This is the dead silent starfield, one of the most dangerous danger zones on the eternal path. This was once a battlefield of eternal sovereigns, and it is extremely dangerous. However, there aren't many benefits, and no one is willing to come here. This is indeed the best place to avoid being hunted down. Yang Feng glanced at the dead silent starfield. His gaze sank slightly, and he stepped inside. As soon as Yang Feng stepped into the dead silent starfield, fearsome cosmic storms blew towards him like tornadoes. The tornadoes are like blades that can easily slay a monarch. Except for the Ruler Series battle robots, the rest of Yang Feng's battle robots were blown apart by the fearsome cosmic storms, losing their fighting strength. A devour black hole suddenly appeared around Yang Feng and devoured the fearsome cosmic storms. Boom! Boom! Suddenly, thunder rumbled, lightning danced like silver snakes, and fearsome lightning tore through the sky and barreled towards Yang Feng. Even a holy will be turned into ashes under the bombardment of this fearsome lightning. The devouring black hole extended and sucked in all the lightning within a radius of 10,000 kilometers, transforming it into the purest form of energy. After passing through the lightning area, a torrential rain fell from the sky and swept towards Yang Feng like a waterfall. The raindrops contained terrifying corrosive power. Even a great sage would be eroded to the point that only bones would be left after being drenched by the terrifying raindrops. A devour black hole suddenly appeared, swept towards the torrential rain, and devoured it along with the rain clouds. The sky within an area 10,000 kilometers in radius became clear. The devour black hole that Yang Feng formed rampaged through the dead silent starfield, devoured all kinds of strange phenomena, and absorbed a large amount of power. For other powerhouses, the dead silent starfield is a land of death. But for Yang Feng, who has advanced to the intermediate Great Holy Realm, it is just a bit troublesome. Chapter 12:25. In the center of the dead silent starfield, there is a huge distorted hole suspended in the void of the dead silent starfield. The huge distorted hole seems to be able to devour and destroy everything, making people shudder at the sight of it. It's here. I get the feeling that this place is very dangerous. The star-moon heavenly snake race really deserves to die. Yang Feng looked at the distorted hole in the center of the dead silent starfield with a dignified look in his eyes. In this dead silent starfield, which is full of dangers in the eyes of holy ones, Yang Feng crushed all kinds of strange phenomena along the way. The only thing that gives him a sense of danger is the huge distorted hole. In this universe, there are few dangerous places that can hurt me. Let me see what's behind this distorted hole. Yang Feng's eyes flashed coldly, and he took a step forward and stepped into the range of the distorted hole. A terrifying pressure that can easily crush a holy into powder enveloped Yang Feng. Countless mysterious runes appeared on Yang Feng's body and formed layers of magic barriers that enveloped him. A devour black hole suddenly appeared and frantically devoured the power of the distorted hole. A vast force came from the distorted hole and crushed the devour black hole, and a tremendous force crushed Yang Feng's magic barriers layer by layer. In just a few breaths of time, the 18 barriers that can defend against holy rank powerhouses that enveloped Yang Feng collapsed, and a terrifying crushing force enveloped Yang Feng and crushed his fleshly body, bones, and soul inch by inch. After Yang Feng advanced to the intermediate Great Holy Realm, the strength of his fleshly body is infinitely close to that of a quasi-Empyrean steppe powerhouse. However, under that incomparably terrifying pressure, his bones still began to crack inch by inch. Amazing! Second form. Shock flashed in Yang Feng's eyes. The Twilight God armor shone brightly, and he entered the second form. The Twilight God armor covered Yang Feng completely, and he resisted the crushing force of the distorted hole by relying on the armor's strength. The fearsome power that gushed out of the Kunmo stone nourished Yang Feng's fleshly body and soul and resisted the terrifying pressure. Black holes appeared one after another, like cells, and enveloped the armor of dawn, absorbing and devouring the surrounding spatial distortions. In this strangely distorted space, his power couldn't be replenished. If this continued, only death would await Yang Feng. Only by continuously devouring all kinds of power could he persevere. Suddenly, the runes around Yang Feng collapsed, and the god armor of dawn dimmed. The small world inside Yang Feng was sealed, and an extremely distorted feeling enveloped him, and the laws and essences inside him collapsed bit by bit. What's going on? How come all the principles and power Upanishads I've mastered are gone? This was an even higher level law of the universe. The higher level laws of the universe had covered the lower level laws of the universe that I had mastered. Could this be the legendary entrance to the universe? Yang Feng sensed that the laws inside him collapsed inch by inch, and shock flashed in his eyes. His thoughts revolved lightning fast, and he made all kinds of speculations. The light of the armor of dawn dimmed, and the distorted power seemed to tear apart its core. A pure and incomparably powerful energy emanated from the Chkunmo dusk stone, enveloping the divine armor of Shi, preventing it from collapsing. Fearsome power containing distorted laws poured into Yang Feng and blasted his fleshly body apart. Yang Feng's fleshly body twisted inch by inch, distorted beyond recognition by the terrifying force. Yang Feng's essence of devour has almost collapsed, leaving only a bit of its core. Despite the endless pain, Yang Feng still used the essence of devour to devour the high-energy grade power pouring over. The high-energy grade power allowed Yang Feng's fleshly body to recover a little, but it was soon distorted by the fearsome power and almost collapsed. At the moment when Yang Feng was about to be torn to pieces by the strange power, a tremendous force ejected Yang Feng from the distorted space and sent him flying into the distance. On the summit of a huge spirit mountain surrounded by dense and mysterious power, there was a spirit pool. In the spirit pool, there was a lotus flower blooming with 7 colors suspended in the air. On both sides of the lotus flower stood 2 groups of people. One group had blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair skin. The men were handsome and the women were beautiful. The man in the lead was a tall and burly man with an extraordinary bearing and a great sword in his hand. The other group was a group of young men and women with black hair and black eyes brimming with an oriental aura. The person in the lead was a tall and voluptuous young girl with a ponytail and an extremely beautiful appearance. The man with the great sword in his hand carefully sized up the beautiful girl brimming with an oriental aura. His eyes shimmered with greed and he sneered, "Zhou Yuning, take your people and scram. Otherwise, we won't be polite to you." Zhou Yuning's eyes flashed with anger, and she shouted, "Garson, this is the territory of our Ink Phoenix race. Since this rainbow god lotus grew within the territory of our Ink Phoenix clan, it is our Ink Phoenix clan's treasure. All of you barged into the territory of our Ink Phoenix clan and wanted to seize the treasures of our Ink Phoenix clan. What a bunch of shameless bastards." Garson smiled ferociously and barked, "Ink Phoenix race? Your Ink Phoenix race is no longer one of the 3 major races that supported the world in the past. Now, you're just an ordinary minor race. Zhou Yuning, since you don't want to leave, then stay and become my prey. It must be very interesting to have the number 1 beauty of this generation of Ink Phoenix race as my pet. Attack." The warriors behind Garson took out rifle-like transistor weapons and pointed at Zhou Yuning and the others. Thumb-sized blue beams shot towards Zhou Yuning and the others. Soul-snatching spear. Damn bastard. Zhou Yuning's beautiful eyes flashed with a hint of shock, and she gritted her teeth as her entire body ignited with raging flames. Like a beautiful ink phoenix with raging flames, she pounced towards Garson and the others. The dozen or so ink phoenix young men and women behind Zhou Yuning also had traces of flames on their bodies, but when they were hit by the blue beams, their bodies instantly spasmed and trembled, and they fell limply to the ground. The blue beams were like live ammunition, and they had repelling properties. When the blue beams hit the ink phoenix that Zhou Yuning had transformed into, Zhou Yuning's ink phoenix constantly trembled and was unable to get close to Garson. Garson laughed disdainfully and said mockingly, "Zhou Yuning, your ink phoenix race's secret techniques have already fallen behind a few generations. This is the era of secret treasures, not the ancient era where you rely on the power of bloodline to dominate. You've already been eliminated, and your only outcome is to become our prey. Brothels, mines, farms, and arenas are the places where you ancient races should stay." Zhou Yuning clenched her silver teeth, then opened her mouth and belched out ink phoenix flames, which turned into a fire dragon that swept towards Garson and his party. "Ink phoenix flames? It's no use. I've already prepared it." Garson smiled disdainfully, and a set of exquisite armor as thin as a cicada's wings appeared on his body, and white barriers suddenly emerged and surrounded him. When the ink phoenix flames sprayed onto the white barrier, it was easily blocked by the white barrier. A set of armor as thin as a cicada's wings appeared on the bodies of the warriors behind Garson. They opened up layers of white enchantments to block the Ink Phoenix's flames. "Release the net," Garson barked. The 4 experts behind Garson took out a silver-white net and threw it into the sky. The silver-white net shone brightly and swept towards Zhou Yuning. Silver rays of light fell from the big net, completely suppressing Zhou Yuning's Ink Phoenix flames, and then rolled Zhou Yuning into the big silver net. When Zhou Yuning was swept into the silver net, all her power was sealed, and she fell to the ground, twisting and struggling. Garson revealed an excited and sinister smile. "Huh. The #1 beauty of the Ink Phoenix clan. Once we've had our fun with you, we'll sell you to the Rose Fragrant Club. You'll definitely fetch a high price." Behind Garson, both men and women revealed excited smiles. As long as they sold Zhou Yuning, they would definitely get a huge sum of money. Zhou Yuning's pretty face revealed bursts of despair. "What's that? It looks like a meteor. It's flying this way. The meteor is flying this way." A warrior behind Garson inadvertently glanced at the sky, then his face suddenly changed dramatically, and he shouted. The rest of the warriors also looked up and saw a meteor falling from the sky and flying this way. "Fly!" Garson's face changed dramatically, and a pair of transparent wings unfolded behind him. With a slight flap, he rode the wind and flew into the distance. The rest of the experts also rode the wind and soared into the sky, leaving behind the Ink Phoenix clansmen. Boom! Along with an earth-shaking blare, the meteor slammed into the mountain and blasted open a huge hole. A small mushroom cloud rose from the huge mountain range. After the smoke and dust dispersed, Garson and the others descended from the sky and flew in the direction of the meteor. "There's someone. It's people from the 3 great races. That's someone from the 3 great clans. Garson, should we kill him?" At the bottom of the hole, a tattered humanoid life form was revealed. It was Yang Feng who fell to the ground. Chapter 12:26. Garson's eyes shimmered with killing intent, and he said frigidly, "Kill him. He can't be allowed to live." The warriors fired at Yang Feng with crystal guns in their hands. Thumb-sized blue beams barreled towards Yang Feng. Ding, ding, ding. Following crisp sounds, the blue beams of light slammed into Yang Feng and collapsed. "What's this? How can this be? This blue crystal gun can even kill a monarch, so how come it can't even break his skin? What kind of monster is this? Even the crimson dragons of the 3 major races don't have such terrifying defenses." Just as the eyes of the warriors flashed with shock, Yang Feng suddenly opened his eyes in the pit. Garson barked and shot at Yang Feng's eyes with the blue crystal spear in his hand. "Eyes? His weakness is his eyes. Attack his eyes." Blue light beams barreled towards Yang Feng like raindrops. "A bunch of ants, how dare you attack me, how reckless." Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with frigid killing intent, and countless runes flickered in his eyes and then collapsed. He can't use any extraordinary force. Can't use spells? The laws of the universe here are completely different from those of the world of warlocks. No, this is a higher energy level universe energy level. The laws of the universe here are fragmented, and they lie between the high and low energy levels. This is similar to a universe crevice. Yang Feng was slightly distracted, and the blue beams slammed into his eyes and heated up slightly, as if he was blown by a gust of wind. He's fine? He's still fine after being hit in the eyes by the crystal gun? How can this be? Who the hell is he? This monster? How can his eyes be so powerful? When the warriors saw that the blue crystal gun couldn't even injure Yang Feng's eyes, they suddenly felt a chill run down their spine and filled with fear. Retreat! Garson's eyes shimmered coldly, and he waved his hand, and a large silver net flew out of his hand and extended towards Yang Feng. "Although I can't use the power of laws, but I still have my fleshly body." A tyrannical and peerless body was the key to traversing the many universes. No, souls are fine as well. It's just that to have a soul that can run amok in the many universes, it needs to be at least eternal or above. Yang Feng's mind surged with traces of understanding. He reached out with his hand, easily dug out a rock harder than steel, and threw it. The crushed rocks turned into fearsome artillery shells that shot towards Garson and the others. The cannonball-like stones slammed into the silver net and easily tore it apart, before blasting towards Garson and the others. A thin layer of protective cover appeared around Garson and the rest. When the rocks slammed into the shields, they easily shattered them and pierced through the bodies of Garson and the others. Copious amounts of blood splattered as they fell from the sky. Zhou Yuning's eyes flashed with disbelief. So powerful! Who was this person? How could he be so strong? Even the Thorned Flower Federation's most elite White Knight Corps was so easily annihilated? Yang Feng flicked his finger, and a stone flew out and slammed into the silver net covering Zhou Yuning, shattering it. Yang Feng said indifferently, "Go kill them all, and then come here. I have something to ask you." "Sir." Intimidated by Yang Feng's imposing manner, Zhou Yuning responded respectfully and looked hatefully at Garson and the others. "Zhou Yuning, stop right now. I am the only son of the White Knight Corps' Commander Gully and the first successor of the Garson family. If you dare to kill me, the Thorned Flower Federation's White Knight Corps will definitely come here and exterminate your Ink Phoenix clan." Garson had a huge wound on his abdomen, yet he still wasn't dead. He stared at Zhou Yuning and threatened fiercely. "Even if I don't kill you, your White Knight Corps will come and exterminate my Ink Phoenix clan. Therefore you should go to hell." Zhou Yuning's beautiful eyes flashed with a hint of hatred. She opened her mouth and a cloud of Ink Phoenix flames flew out, rolling towards Garrison and the other powerhouses. Burned by the Ink Phoenix flames, Garson and the other experts screamed miserably and were eventually burned to ashes. After burning Garson and his party to death, Zhou Yuning hesitated for a while, and then walked towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng said indifferently, "I have something to ask you." Zhou Yuning replied respectfully, "Yes, sir. I will report everything I know to you." From Zhou Yuning, Yang Feng began to learn about the world he landed in. This world was called the Whetstone Continent. In ancient times, it was ruled by the Ink Phoenix race, the Red Dragon race, and the Golden Rock race. Later, for some unknown reason, a world-destroying disaster occurred in the Whetstone Continent. In the center of the Whetstone Continent, a huge distorted hole appeared. As soon as the huge distorted hole appeared, the world of the entire continent changed. The power of the bloodline of the three races, which were famous for their powerful bloodline, continued to degenerate, and the power of their extraordinary powers became extremely low. During the process of the world changing, the power of the three races continued to decline, and their powerhouses died of old age. Suddenly, a group of people emerged from the huge distorted hole. Wielding secret treasures that transcended the limits of this era, the group launched an attack on the three races. After a long war, the three races were eventually defeated by the people wielding powerful secret treasures, and were reduced to being hunted down. They had no choice but to hide in deep mountains and forests. At this time, the Whetstone Continent has been occupied by people wielding powerful secret treasures and established three states, namely the Thorned Flower Federation, the Amon Federation, and the Radiant Empire. The three great empires were at war endlessly with each other as well, and this was the reason why the Ink Phoenix clan and the other two great clans had a trace of breathing room. Yang Feng examined the blue crystal spear carefully, and his eyes flashed with enigmatic light. This secret treasure is really exquisite. It's not a secret treasure of the world of warlocks. I've never seen a secret treasure of this style in the Gamana universe. This is a secret treasure made using a higher energy level of the universe. After mastering Shizu technology, Yang Feng himself became a top alchemist in the world of warlocks. Furthermore, he lurked in the Blasteel race and obtained the Blasteel text. The level of refinement of the blue crystal spear surpassed that of the many civilizations Yang Feng has seen by far. The rules of this world are completely different from those of the world of warlocks. It will take a lot of time to analyze the rules of this world. And most importantly, my injuries haven't healed yet. Yang Feng took a look at his body and creased his eyebrows slightly. At this time, his body is twisted, broken, and riddled with scars. The laws inside him have collapsed, and the small world has closed. Originally, with Yang Feng's quasi-Empyrean rank fleshly body, no matter how serious the injuries are, as long as there is no law force, he can quickly recover. But now, although his body is still recovering but at a frighteningly slow pace. Yang Feng took a deep breath, stood up from the ground, endured the pain, and walked towards the seven-color god lotus step by step. Zhou Yuning glanced at the seven-color god lotus, concealed the scorching light in her eyes, and said, "Sir, there is a guardian beast next to the seven-color god lotus." A small golden snake shot out of the pool and fiercely bit Yang Feng's arm. A terrifying force came over, and the little golden snake's teeth were directly smashed into pieces. Yang Feng casually pinched the small golden snake and crushed it. Gold snake, its poison is very potent. It can poison a monarch to death with a single bite. Zhou Yuning had just finished speaking, when she watched speechlessly as Yang Feng pinched the golden viper to death. The gold snake, which they were so apprehensive of, was crushed to death by Yang Feng like an ant, leaving Zhou Yuning at a loss. Yang Feng plucked the seven-color god lotus and swallowed it. Bursts of seven-colored light suddenly shone, nourished Yang Feng's body and soul, and healed his injuries at a speed visible to the naked eye. The value of this seven-color god lotus is second only to that of the eternal god fruit. Furthermore, it contains the mysteries of this world. If I can eat more of it, I will be able to obtain more information about this world and analyze the laws of this world faster. Sensing the changes in his body, the corners of Yang Feng's mouth rose into a smile. Even though the laws of the universe have changed, but Yang Feng's fleshly body is still comparable to that of a quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouse, and his soul is still at the Great Circle rank. As long as he is given a certain amount of time, he will be able to quickly analyze the laws and regain formidable extraordinary power. This is the terror of human Great Holy Step warlocks. Many Great Holy Step extraordinary life forms in the world of warlocks will fall from grace once they enter this world, leaving only the power of their fleshly body behind. They can no longer cultivate Great Holy Step power. But human warlocks are different. No matter what environment they are in, they can quickly analyze the laws. This is the most essential difference between human warlocks and Great Holy Step extraordinary life forms. Since the rise of the human race, powerhouses have emerged one after another. This is the reason why the 8 warlock emperors emerged one after another and suppressed the universe. Zhou Yuning asked with an expectant look on her face, "Sir Yang Feng, can you come to our tribe as a guest?" Yang Feng pondered for a while and then responded, "Okay." The Ink Phoenix race has more than 1,000 tribes of various sizes scattered across the whale origin continent. Zhou Yuning's tribe is one of the largest. It has an inheritance secret treasure and is the orthodox tribe of the Ink Phoenix race. Chapter 12:27. Within a valley, there was a 1,000-meter-tall flaming parasol tree. The surroundings of the flaming parasol tree burned with raging Ink Phoenix flames. There was a palace under the blazing Wutong tree. Countless mysterious patterns were carved on the outside of the palace, constantly absorbing the flames on the blazing Wutong tree. "Big Sister Yuning, you're back." "Big Sister Yuning, what delicious food did you bring us?" As soon as they stepped into the valley, the children of the Ink Phoenix clan cheered and pounced towards them. Yang Feng swept the Ink Phoenix children with a glance, and his eyes shimmered with a peculiar glint. Their soul aptitude is at least superior level 5, what an outstanding soul aptitude. In the human race, superior level 5 soul aptitude was already regarded as a genius. It was rare for 1 in 10,000 people to appear. Yet, in the Ink Phoenix race, there was actually a genius with superior level 5 soul aptitude or above, which naturally surprised Yang Feng. "Yuning, who is he?" A burly, handsome man with a mysterious pattern engraved on his forehead came over, stared at Yang Feng with hostility in his eyes, and asked coldly. Zhou Yuning said, "Luo Zhan, this is Sir Yang Feng. He saved our lives by killing the powerhouses of the Thornflower Federation's White Knight Corps." Luo Zhan's face changed dramatically, and he uttered solemnly, "What?" He actually killed the people of the Thornflower Federation's White Knight Corps? Yuning, you're in big trouble. The Thornflower Federation is one of the 3 empires, and the White Knight Corps is an elite among elites. Every member is a descendant of a bigwig. For Yang Feng to dare kill them, he's bringing disaster to our tribe. Quickly capture him and offer him to the Thornflower Federation in the future. Only in this way can we quell the anger of the bigwigs. Yang Feng smiled faintly and watched everything indifferently. Traces of killing intent filled his heart. Zhou Yuning raised her eyebrows and barked, "Shut up! Luo Zhan, he saved us, so he's a good friend of the Ink Phoenix race. You want to hand over a good friend of the Ink Phoenix race who saved us? If word of this gets out, who will be willing to be a friend of the Ink Phoenix race in the future? Who will be willing to help the Ink Phoenix race? You shut up." The young men and women of the Ink Phoenix clan who followed Zhou Yuning also glared at Luo Zhan. Zhou Yuning turned around and showed a gentle smile. "Yang Feng, come with me to see the great elder of our family." Yang Feng smiled and followed Zhou Yuning to the palace in the middle of the valley. Luo Zhan's complexion fluctuated indeterminately. Staring at Yang Feng's back, his eyes flashed with resentment. He hesitated for a moment and then walked towards a corner. As soon as he entered the palace, he saw a beautiful woman wearing a gorgeous purple robe. She had a voluptuous figure and was as gorgeous as a ripe peach. She stood quietly in front of a mural. On that mural was a vivid and lifelike Ink Phoenix. Its entire body was burning with Ink Phoenix flames, and it emitted a terrifying pressure that could burn the heavens and destroy everything. "Mommy!" When Zhou Yuning entered the palace, she cheered and threw herself into the arms of the gorgeous woman. This gorgeous and mature woman was Zhou Yuning's mother, as well as the Ink Phoenix tribe's great elder Rong Kiki. Rong Kiki embraced Zhou Yuning and smiled dotingly. Then, her gaze fell on Yang Feng, and her eyes flashed with vigilance. "Yuning, who is this?" "Mommy, this is Sir Yang Feng. He was the one who saved us." Zhou Yuning emerged from Rong Kiki's embrace and quickly told Rong Kiki everything that happened not long ago. Rong Kiki's vigilance faded slightly, and she said with a gentle smile, "Sir Yang Feng, thank you for saving my daughter." Yang Feng replied, "You're welcome." Do you have an elixir similar to the 7-color god lotus in your family? Or the location of the elixir? Yes. We have 3 elixirs comparable to the 7-color god lotus. Please wait a moment. Rong Kiki smiled, and the vigilance in her eyes disappeared, replaced by a trace of coldness. She spread the fingers of her hand, and a flame sprayed out of the mural and burned in her hand. After the flames separated, 3 jade boxes were revealed. Yang Feng beckoned with his hand, grabbed the 3 jade boxes, opened them, and took a look. 3 elixirs exuding brilliant light appeared in his hand. Yang Feng grabbed the 3 elixirs, stuffed them into his mouth, and began to refine them. With the help of the power of the 3 elixirs, he analyzed the laws of the universe. Mysterious runes emerged, surrounded Yang Feng, and shone brightly, making him look like a god. "Who is he?" Rong Kiki took a look at the runes, and then her complexion changed slightly. She took a look at the mysterious runes, and then she was almost sucked in by them. Each rune contained infinite mysteries. Boom, boom. A series of loud booms came from outside, accompanied by a series of angry shouts from the Ink Phoenix clan. "What's going on? Take Sir Yang Feng out." Rong Kiki's pretty face flickered. As if shrouded in a flame robe, she strode outside majestically. Zhou Yuning walked to in front of Yang Feng, whose eyes were closed, blushed slightly, and gritted her teeth. "Sir Yang Feng, excuse me." Zhou Yuning hugged Yang Feng in her arms, gritted her teeth, and walked outside. Mysterious runes diffused from Yang Feng. Like illusory existences, the runes gushed out of Yang Feng, passed through Zhou Yuning, and finally returned to her. When each rune passed through Zhou Yuning's body, she felt her body heat up slightly, and she felt a bit closer to Yang Feng on her back. Outside the valley, warriors in white uniforms were wielding blue crystal spears and firing at the Ink Phoenix clan experts. The experts of the Ink Phoenix clan controlled the flames and swept towards the warriors in white uniforms. However, They were easily blocked by the warriors in white uniforms. Only less than 10 Ink Phoenix clan experts were able to burn through the protective shields of the white-uniformed warriors with their flames, and it was extremely difficult for them to burn their opponents. A 100-meter-long snow-white warship was suspended in the void. At the forefront of the deck of the warship stood a burly man with blonde hair, blue eyes, hawk-like eyes, and a hooked nose. There was a flame scar on his face. When Rong Kiki saw the man with a flame scar on his face, her pretty face suddenly changed, and she cried out, "One of the Thorny Flower Federation's 4 heavenly lords, the commander of the White Knight Corps, Mon Rayton. How did you find this place?" The Thorny Flower Federation had a total of 4 heavenly lords, who were in charge of 4 legions. The 4 heavenly lords were the Thorny Flower Federation's top 10 powerhouses, as well as the top 30 powerhouses of the Whale Origin continent. Rong Kiki, you hid really well. If it wasn't for someone pointing me out, I wouldn't have been able to find you. I wouldn't have been able to attack without alarming you. Mon Rayton smiled ferociously and flew down from the void. His right hand was covered in a thin layer of white armor, and he sent a punch at an Ink Phoenix powerhouse. A wave of explosions resounded, and the Ink Phoenix clan expert who was hundreds of meters away was directly blasted into pieces, transforming into fragments that scattered all over the ground. Luo Zhan emerged from a corner, ran up to Mon Rayton, and said with a fawning look, "Sir Mon Rayton, according to our agreement, Rong Kiki and Zhou Yuning will be my women." Mon Rayton's eyes flashed with ridicule, and he chuckled, "That's right, they will be your women from now on. I won't go back on my word." Luo Zhan was overjoyed, and with a fawning look on his face, he said repeatedly, "Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir." Zhou Yuning stared at Luo Zhan, gritted her teeth, and said, "Luo Zhan, you beast. I didn't expect you to betray us." Rong Kiki's beautiful eyes flickered with flames of fury. The Ink Phoenix clan had already made many arrangements in this area. If it wasn't for the traitor, the Ink Phoenix clan wouldn't have been able to deal with it. If not for the traitor, they would have been able to evacuate in case of an enemy attack. Luo Zhan's face twisted, and he laughed wantonly. "Zhou Yuning, wait until you both belong to me, then I'll let you know how powerful I am." Haha. An arm pierced through Luo Zhan's chest from behind, and dug out his heart. Luo Zhan's face contorted in pain, and he turned his head in disbelief, only to see Mon Rayton looking at him with ridicule. "I promised to give them to you. I've fulfilled my promise. Now that you're dead, they belong to me." Mon Rayton smiled contemptuously and flung Luo Zhan aside like a piece of trash. He stared at Rong Kiki with greed in his eyes. "Rong Kiki, I've never forgotten the burn mark you left on my face back then. Today, I'll kill your clansmen and turn you and your daughter into lowly prostitutes to avenge what happened back then." "You won't succeed." Rong Kiki's beautiful eyes flashed with determination, and she silently recited an incantation. Ink Phoenix flames appeared around her, and as if transforming into a beautiful Ink Phoenix, she pounced at Mon Rayton with terrifying flames. Ink Phoenix flames. "Rong Kiki, you're no longer the same as you were 20 years ago. You're too weak in front of me now." A look of ridicule flashed in Mon Rayton's eyes. With a wave of his hand, a silver ball of light spread out and turned into a large silver net. It covered the sky and directly rolled towards Rong Kiki. The silver net flickered with silver light and extinguished the Ink Phoenix flames that Rong Kiki had transformed into. Then it directly swept Rong Kiki into it. Chapter 12:28. Countless runes shone on Rong Kiki, and she mysteriously resonated with the flame parasol tree. A large amount of flames gushed out of the flame parasol tree and formed a flame fenghuang. Containing the power to burn everything, the flame phoenix tree swept towards Mon Rayton. The inheritance treasure of the Ink Phoenix race, the flame parasol tree, is a treasure passed down from generation to generation. In the primordial era, this inheritance treasure caused our clan to suffer greatly. Unfortunately, it is no longer ancient times. Your Ink Phoenix race has fallen behind. Mon Rayton smiled coldly and waved his hand. From the 100-meter-long snow-white warship, a magic mirror suddenly appeared in the center of the warship. Countless runes flashed in the magic mirror, and a white beam of light shot towards the flame parasol tree. Illuminated by the white beam of light, the flame fenghuang formed from the flame phoenix tree fell into disorder and collapsed. How could this be? Seeing this scene, Rong Kik's beautiful eyes shimmered with despair, and she cried out. The flame parasol tree is a secret treasure passed down from generation to generation, and it has protected the ink phoenix race from extinction time and time again. But now the flame parasol tree is being suppressed by a magic mirror, which is simply incredible. Even though Manriaden is one of the Thorned Flower Federation's 4 heavenly lords, but he cannot suppress the flame parasol tree so easily. Surprised? The laws of the universe are constantly changing. This is no longer the ancient era, the era when your 3 great races ruled the world. Only we, who adapt to the changes of this era, can be the masters of the world. Manriaden smiled ferociously and beckoned with his hand, and the bound Rong Kiki flew towards him. Zhou Yuning's pretty face was pale, and she gritted her teeth and pleaded, "Sir Yang Feng, please, please save my mother, save the ink phoenix race." Yang Feng, who is immersed in analyzing the laws of the universe, slowly opened his eyes and looked at Manriaden. "My friend, this is a grievance between the Thorned Flower Federation's White Knight Corps and the ink phoenix race. Please don't intervene. As long as you promise not to intervene, I, Manriaden, will owe you a favor. As long as you come to my Thorned Flower Federation, I will treat you well and let you return satisfied." Manriaden felt as if he was being stared at by an ancient vicious beast. His body tensed up, but he still said with a smile. Yang Feng said with a faint smile, "You're really sensible. In this world I still lack a few lackeys and claws. Moni Leighton, you will kneel and swear allegiance to me, and you will be my dog. I will spare your life. You should feel honored that I'm in a good mood today. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be qualified to submit to me." Manriaden was one of the Thorned Flower Federation's 4 heavenly kings, the commander of the White Knight Legion. He was a tyrant in this world, and only a few people could make him lower his head. Even those big shots who could make him lower his head were polite to him and treated him as an equal. No one had ever asked him to be someone else's dog. However, in Yang Feng's eyes, he was just an ant-like nobody. Manriaden was so angry that he laughed and said, "You want me to be your dog? You sure have a big mouth. Then let me see what kind of ability you have to make me submit to you." A white jade pendant on Manriaden's chest flashed slightly, and a white armor appeared. 2 special white crystal pistols appeared in his hands, and he pointed at Yang Feng. When Zhou Yuning saw the 2 white crystal pistols, her pretty face changed and she warned loudly, "Sir Yang Feng, be careful. Those are white death spears, demonic spears that can even kill ancient life forms." 2 white rays of light flashed from the muzzles of the pistols, and 2 beams shot towards Yang Feng. In an instant, the 2 white beams slammed into the left side of Yang Feng's chest and smashed his divine armor of twilight, leaving not even a white mark. Manriaden was dumbstruck, trembled all over, and broke out in a cold sweat. How is this possible? Those are white death spears, demonic spears that can even kill ancient life forms. How can this be? How can this be? Zhou Yuning was also dumbstruck. Amazing! Sir Yang Feng is really amazing. He doesn't look human at all. Inside the white net, Rong Kiki stared at Yang Feng with brilliant light. Yang Feng looked at the white death spears in Manriaden's hands with a scorching shade in his eyes. What a powerful demonic spear! Its power is already enough to seriously injure ordinary holy rank powerhouses. It is only slightly inferior to the Holy Slaughter Cannon. However, the Holy Slaughter Cannon is a warship's primary artillery, while the White Death Spears is just a single combat weapon. The technology of the Thorned Flower Federation is really amazing, much stronger than that of the world of warlocks. There is no lack of weapons among the Shizu that can seriously injure quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouses. However, those weapons were all defensive weapons that used stars as their bases and absorbed the power of the entire star to attack. The white death spears in Monraton's hands can seriously injure ordinary Holy Spirit warlocks. If they can be mass-produced, it will be heaven-defying. Let me show you what I'm capable of. That. Yang Feng smiled coldly and pointed with his finger, and ripples bloomed from his finger and spread in all directions. The protective shields of the Day-Night Legion elites who were fighting the Ink Phoenix clan shattered one by one, and their bodies exploded in a strange manner, turning into fragments that scattered on the ground. What's going on? What the hell happened? How did they die? When the Ink Phoenix warriors saw the bodies of the White Knight Legion explode one after another, a look of confusion flashed in their eyes. As the ripples swept towards Monraton, a terrifying shockwave spread throughout his body, causing it to explode one by one. A sinister expression on his face, Monraton grabbed Rong Keek's snow-white neck and said through gritted teeth, "Stop. Otherwise I'll kill her." Yang Feng smiled contemptuously. "Do you have that ability?" There was a flash of ripples, and Monraton's right hand exploded. Blood splashed about, and Rong Keek fell to the ground. A rhombus turret appeared on the white warship in the sky. Countless twisted and mysterious runes appeared on the turret, and a resplendent beam barreled towards Yang Feng. Boom! In an instant, the fearsome beam engulfed Yang Feng, and a fearsome destructive force erupted and blasted a large area apart. Under the impact of the incomparably terrifying shockwave, the surrounding experts of the Ink Phoenix clan spat out large mouthfuls of blood as they were sent flying to one side. Monraton's eyes flashed fiercely and he laughed wildly. With the might of the Level 1 Rhombus Light Destruction Cannon, even if the ancient saints were to revive, only death awaits them. Yang Feng is dead for sure this time. Ha! In the next moment, Monraton's smile stopped abruptly. In the bottomless hole, a figure walked out of it step by step. A bunch of ants, how annoying. Go to hell, all of you. Yang Feng looked at the white warship with killing intent in his eyes, and two rays shot out of his eyes and swept towards the white warship. In the wake of the rays, the warriors on the white warship withered and turned into dried corpses that were blown away by the wind. The white warship swayed slightly and fell to the ground from the sky. "Sir Yang Feng, please accept me and let me be your lackey. I didn't know your strength before, so please forgive me if I offended you in any way. If you think that I'm not qualified to be your lackey, then let me be your slave. Please spare my life and accept me as your slave." When Monraton saw this scene, his mind stirred, and he knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Yang Feng repeatedly. When Zhou Yuning saw Monraton's servile appearance, her beautiful eyes shimmered with contempt. "Shameless thing, to think that you're the commander of the White Knight Corps. It just so happens that I lack people in this world, so I'll let you be my lackey." Yang Feng smiled faintly and spread the fingers of a hand, and a mechanical tentacle flew out, stabbed into Monraton, and strangely wrapped around his soul. When Monraton saw this scene, he was slightly startled. He knew that Yang Feng had placed various restrictions on him, yet he still remained respectful. Rong Keek came over and said gratefully, "Sir Yang Feng, thank you for your help. Our Ink Phoenix clan will never forget your great kindness and kindness." Yang Feng said faintly, "Great Elder, I want to conquer this world. Is the Ink Phoenix race willing to serve me?" In this world, Yang Feng couldn't use the power of the blue mirror of fate. If he wanted to find the place where Shiryu was sealed, he would need countless people. As long as he conquered the whole world, Yang Feng would be able to use the power of the world and search for the mysteries of the world. Moreover, this world was extremely mysterious. It had laws of a high energy level and alchemy far beyond that of the world of warlocks. It was a valuable world, so he naturally couldn't let it go. Rong Keek's pretty face flickered, and she hesitated. After weighing it over and over again, she gritted her teeth and said, "Sir Yang Feng, the Ink Phoenix race just wants to live peacefully in this wilderness." Standing quietly behind Yang Feng, Monraton glanced at Rong Keek, his eyes shimmered with contempt, and he sneered, "A bunch of idiots who don't know how to seize an opportunity." Zhou Yuning's beautiful eyes shimmered with a scorching shade, and she said, "Sir Yang Feng, I am willing to follow you and serve you. I just hope that after you conquer the world, you will give the Ink Phoenix race the qualifications to live equally in this world." Chapter 1229. Yang Feng said indifferently, I've always been fair in my rewards and punishments. How much power you Ink Phoenixes can obtain in the future depends on how useful you are to me. If you want to obtain power, you have to pay the price. Although Ink Phoenixes like Yang Feng had an oriental appearance. But for Yang Feng, whether it was Ink Phoenixes or other races, as long as they were useful to him, they were allies and subordinates. If they were his enemies, then they were his enemies. The reason why Yang Feng attacked Monriadan was that he wanted to subdue a powerhouse. Zhou Yuning's heart shook slightly and she uttered, Yes, sir. Yang Feng said, Go gather those who are willing to follow me. Zhou Yuning turned around and walked towards her people. There were a total of several thousand Ink Phoenix clansmen in this tribe, but only 17 young Ink Phoenix clansmen followed Zhou Yuning. Most of the Ink Phoenix clansmen were youngsters who were saved by Yang Feng before. Zhou Yuning said, Sir, what should we do next? Yang Feng beckoned with his hand, and the white warship rumbled and flew over while shrouded by an invisible force. That's the Thornflower Alliance's White Shark warship. The Thornflower Alliance's top warship costs up to 6,885 billion yuan to build. When the experts of the Ink Phoenix clan below saw that battleship, a scorching look flashed in their eyes. The three empires dominated the Whale continent, and the currency they issued was used throughout the continent. In the Thornflower Federation, 1 gene of rice was only 1 yuan. To the experts of the Ink Phoenix clan, 3,6,885 billion was simply an astronomical figure. Yang Feng said indifferently, Get on board. Monriadan swept the Ink Phoenix powerhouses with a contemptuous glance and said, Master, this White Shark warship needs at least 136 people to fully start up. Otherwise, it will be difficult to exert the warship's full strength. Besides, they don't have the ability to pilot the warship. A top warship like the White Shark warship could only be piloted by experts who had undergone rigorous training. Ink Phoenixes hid in ravines, their inheritance was incomplete, and they didn't have a complete education system. In Monriadan's eyes, they were barbaric illiterates. Yang Feng said lightly, I can operate this warship. A look of worship flashed in Monriadan's eyes as he said respectfully, As expected of the master, there is nothing you can't do. As soon as he boarded the White Shark warship, Yang Feng spread the fingers of a hand, and numerous mechanical tentacles extended from the god armor of dawn, entered the warship and quickly analyzed it. The technology of this warship has indeed surpassed the technology of the Shizu. However, it was not to the extent of being incomprehensible. What a precious specimen. The information fed back by the mechanical tentacles made Yang Feng reveal a trace of a carefree smile. With this White Shark warship, it would be enough for Yang Feng's technology to reach a new level. Not only would it enhance his power, but it would also allow the Twilight God armor to evolve once again. The White Shark battleship flashed faintly, trembled slightly, and flew up from the place. A look of shock flashed in Monriadan's eyes. Amazing! Unexpectedly, a single person was able to operate a White Shark battleship. It was truly amazing. He's like our ancestor in the legends. He's practically omnipotent. The White Shark battleship shook slightly, turned into a stream of light, and flew into the distance. The Xiansha city was the capital of the Gadawaisen province. Outside the Xiansha city, there was a large barracks garrisoned with 3,000 soldiers. With a flash of light, a White Shark battleship floated above the barracks. White Shark battleship? What kind of bigwig has come? What kind of bigwig has come? I've only seen White Shark battleships in videos. This is the first time I've seen one. I heard that this warship can destroy a city. I wonder if it's true. Inside the barracks, the soldiers of the Thornflower Federation looked at the warship in the sky and discussed spiritedly. White Shark battleships were top-notch weapons in the Thornflower Federation. They were extremely expensive, and there were less than 10 of them in the Federation. Ordinary soldiers could only watch them in videos. I am Monriadan, the commander of the White Knight Corps. I have sworn allegiance to the mighty Heaven Holy Sir Yang Feng. Soldiers of the 1034th Division, you now have two choices. One is to swear allegiance to the mighty Heaven Holy Sir Heaven Holy and follow us to conquer the world. The other is to die here. Now make your choice. Mon Rayton flew out of the White Shark battleship, hovered quietly in the void, looked down at the soldiers in the barracks, and said coldly, "What's going on? What the hell happened? That person is really the commander of the White Knight Corps, Mon Rayton. Did he commit treason?" The soldiers of the 1034th Division looked at Mon Rayton in the sky, dumbfounded and bewildered. "Mon Rayton has committed treason. Kill him." An enraged voice rang out from the command center of the 1034th Regiment. The soldiers of the 1034th Division raised their crystal guns and fired at Mon Rayton in the sky. Mon Rayton smiled coldly and flew into the White Shark battleship, a bunch of reckless idiots. The White Shark battleship shone brightly, and a powerful force field spread around it. When the crystal guns slammed into the force field, they collapsed. Muzzles emerged on the White Shark battleship, and light flashed, and beams barreled towards the soldiers of the 1034th Division. In the wake of the beams, the soldiers of the 1034th Division were turned into ashes. "I surrender! I surrender! Don't kill me! I surrender!" When the soldiers of the 1034th Regiment saw this scene of despair, they were all frightened out of their wits and screamed in agony. What a powerful weapon! So this is the Thornflower Federation's White Shark battleship, so strong. When Zhou Yuning and the other Ink Phoenix powerhouses saw the soldiers of the 1034th Division surrender, they were dumbfounded, unable to believe their eyes. If the 3,000 elites of the 1034th Division attacked the base of the Ink Phoenix, they would definitely inflict great damage to the base. For such a powerful force to be easily suppressed by the White Shark battleship exceeded the imagination of Zhou Yuning and the other Ink Phoenix powerhouses. A feeling of powerlessness welled up inside Zhou Yuning. The people of the three empires are this powerful. They have even created such a terrifying weapon. If it wasn't for Sir Yang Feng's appearance, then in a few decades, we wouldn't be their opponents. Yang Feng looked at the surrendered soldiers of the Thornflower Federation and said indifferently, "Go and incorporate them. Kill all those who refuse to obey." Everyone present replied respectfully, "Yes, sir." The young people of the Ink Phoenix race were full of excitement and eagerness to try. After the 3,000 elites of the 1034th Division were defeated, only 1,300 plus people remained. After Yang Feng incorporated this force, he commanded the defeated soldiers to attack the Xan Sha city. After the Xan Sha city's army was dealt with by Yang Feng, the remaining forces were unable to withstand a single blow from Yang Feng. They were easily defeated, and the entire Xan Sha city was occupied by Yang Feng. The Thornflower Federation's 4 heavenly lords and the commander of the White Knight Corps, Mon Rayton, committed treason and pledged allegiance to the new master Heaven Holy Yang Feng. The Heaven Holy Yang Feng has declared that he will unify the world. An information network similar to the Magic Net has been popularized in the Qiyuan continent. After Yang Feng occupied the Xan Sha city, the news spread throughout the Qiyuan continent in less than a day. There are Ink Phoenix subordinates among the Heaven Holy Yang Feng's subordinates. The Heaven Holy Yang Feng is recruiting subordinates. No matter who it is, as long as they are willing to serve him, they will join. Anyone who is willing to serve him can become his subordinates. Whether it is people of the 3 empires or people of the 3 races, the Heaven Holy Yang Feng is willing to recruit them. The news spread through the information network, and the entire Qiyuan continent was stirred. He's a madman. He's dead. To dare make such a declaration, he's an enemy of the 3 empires. Even if he has a White Shark battleship, he's definitely dead. In the Qiyuan continent, countless people took pleasure in Yang Feng's misfortune, waiting to see his fate. However, there were also some desperate people who rushed towards the Xan Sha city. The Thornflower Federation's response was extremely fierce. The White Knight Corps' main force was immediately dismantled, and all officers were isolated and investigated. At the same time, the Thornflower Federation quickly mobilized the Thunder Corps, Flame Corps, and Gale Corps commanded by the 3 Heavenly Lords, and gathered 300,000 troops and rushed towards the Xian Sha city. The Danbo city is a city about 300 kilometers away from the Xian Sha city. The 300,000 troops of the Thorned Flower Federation gathered on the outskirts of the Danbo city. In the sky above the Danbo city, there are 20 white shark battleships flying. Additionally, there are more than 100 blue swordfish battleships of a slightly lower rank. It is common knowledge in the Thorned Flower Federation that there are less than 10 white shark battleships in service. But now 20 white shark battleships have appeared. This is the underlying strength of the veteran empire, the Thorned Flower Federation. Only the bigwigs of the Thorned Flower Federation know that there are more than 100 white shark battleships in the armory. As long as they want to, they can deploy the 100-plus white shark battleships on the battlefield. A chariot shrouded in layers of lightning sped over from the sky, flew out of a huge barracks in the Danbo city, and stopped in front of the headquarters. From the war chariot shrouded in a layer of blue lightning, a beautiful woman with short blue hair and wearing a blue Thunder Army uniform walked out. She had a sexy and fiery figure, her twin peaks almost bursting out of the uniform, and her skin was as translucent as jade. She had an extraordinary temperament and a powerful aura as she walked towards the command center. Chapter 12:30. You're here. In the command center, the eyes of a burly man in the fiery red uniform of the Flame Corps lit up. His muscles were taut, and he looked like a huge bear. Bilina creased her eyebrows slightly, and her words revealed a strong tone of contempt. Ludo, why did that idiot Monrayton side with that barbarian Yang Feng? The man resembling a giant bear was the commander of the Flame Corps, Ludo. In the eyes of the experts of the three empires, the three major races of the ancient times were barbarians. In fact, the experts of the three major races were driven deep into the mountains and forests by the three empires. Without a complete education system, most of them were indeed very barbaric and backward. A tall man dressed in a Cyan Gale Corps uniform with an extraordinary temperament smiled coldly and said, Yang Feng wiped out Monrayton's personal guards. The White Shark warship was also seized by Yang Feng. In order to survive, he wagged his tail like Yang Feng, sold himself as a slave, and became Yang Feng's lackey. The man dressed in a Cyan Gale Corps uniform was Mozik, the commander of the Gale Corps. Bilina's beautiful eyes flashed with a dignified glint, and she said slowly, he wiped out Monrayton's personal guards by himself. That barbarian strength is really frightening. He's already comparable to a legendary holy sage of the three major races of the ancient times. Ludo said with a smile, that's right. It's precisely because of this that the Empire sent us here. Even if Yang Feng is a holy sage of the ancient times, with our combined strength, we can suppress him. At this moment, a series of loud and clear alarms sounded in this area. Enemy attack! The three commanders were extremely keen experts. Practically lightning fast, they left the command center and went outside. They saw a White Shark warship swagger towards the barracks of the three corps. A cold glint flashed in Ludo's eyes, and he barked, they regard all of us as dead people. I order the White Shark fleet and the Blue Swordfish fleet to attack and annihilate the invading enemy. Bilina and Mozik were silent, allowing Ludo to give orders. Although the three corps were on equal footing, Ludo was the commander of this expeditionary army. As long as his orders weren't unreasonable, Bilina and Mozik could only obey. 20 White Shark class and more than 100 Blue Swordfish class warships flew towards the White Shark warship. Down below, the 300,000 elite warriors from the Thorned Flower Federation were clad in a layer of transparent, white armor. Behind the armor was a pair of blue wings. Enveloped by an incomparably mysterious power, they were able to ignore gravity and soar into the sky. Without any warning, in an instant, the main cannons of the 20 White Shark-class warships and over 100 Blue Swordfish-class warships flashed, and beams of light rained down on the White Shark-class warship. With a flash of light, Yang Feng appeared on top of the White Shark warship. Looking coldly at the beams of light, the corners of his mouth rose slightly. Not bad, let me get a little serious. It's enough to make you proud for the rest of your life. Yang Feng pointed with a finger. and a devour black hole suddenly appeared in front of him, exuding frightening power to devour everything. When the beams of light slammed into the devour black hole, they were immediately devoured. Ludo exclaimed with an incredulous look on his face, "How is this possible?" Mosik was dumbfounded, unable to believe his eyes. How could this be? Bena was also dumbfounded, her eyes glimmering with incredulity, and she muttered, "Impossible. Even a legendary great holy of the three major races in ancient times, can't block the might of the White Shark-class warship's main cannons. This is a result of rigorous scientific calculations. How could anyone block the bombardment of the White Shark-class warship's main cannons?" Yang Feng pointed with a finger again, a rune appeared, and strange ripples spread in all directions with his finger as the core. The 20 White Shark battleships and more than 100 Blue Swordfish battleships were swept up by the shockwave. The shockwave penetrated the defenses of the battleships and entered the hulls of the battleships. It then swept towards the battleship's pilots, causing them to faint one by one. Having lost their pilots, the White Shark warships and Blue Swordfish warships fell from the sky and hit the ground, making loud noises. The remaining White Shark warship in the sky extended countless muzzles, and a dense rain of beams barreled towards the warriors of the Three Corps. Under the frenzied bombardment of the White Shark warship, the warriors of the Three Corps suffered heavy casualties and turned into fragments that fell from the sky. The warriors of the Three Corps also fought back. When the beams slammed into the White Shark warship's energy shield, they set off ripples and consumed the energy shield's power. I am the Heaven Holy Yang Feng, the future master of the Whale Origin continent. Drop your weapons, kneel on the ground, and surrender. Otherwise you'll all die. Zhou Yuning, kill all the rebels. Sitting aboard the White Shark warship, Yang Feng looked at the dense crowd of warriors of the Three Corps and uttered indifferently, "My lord." Zhou Yuning and the other experts of the Ink Phoenix clan flew out of the White Shark armor. With a flash of light, a layer of pitch-black Ink Phoenix armor engraved with mysterious runes and exuding a mysterious and dangerous feeling enveloped them. Under the strengthening of the Ink Phoenix battle armor, Zhou Yuning and the other 18 young men and women of the Ink Phoenix clan were all stimulated with the power of the bloodline of the Ink Phoenix clan. It was as if they had transformed into numerous Ink Phoenixes. Flames surged and swept towards the warriors of the three armies. Large swaths of Ink Phoenix fire gushed out and swept towards the warriors of the Three Corps. Large swaths of the warriors of the Three Corps turned into fireballs, screamed mournfully, and fell from the sky. The protective shields on their bodies simply could not withstand the incomparably terrifying Ink Phoenix's flames. Manriaden, who was standing behind Yang Feng, saw this scene, and his eyes flashed with astonishment. "Amazing! My lord is really fearsome. In just a few days, he has already refined such a fearsome secret treasure. If the people of the three races come to serve my lord, I'm afraid that we will be reduced to an inferior race again." Ludo looked at the 18 virtually invincible Ink Phoenix powerhouses in the sky with astonishment in his eyes. Those are Ink Phoenix powerhouses. How did they become so powerful? Mosik's eyes flickered with astonishment, and he gritted his teeth. The armor they're wearing is a special secret treasure. I've never heard of such a secret treasure. It seems that Yang Feng refined it for them. How fearsome! Yang Feng is really fearsome. He's definitely a freak who surpasses the three races of the ancient times. Bilina gritted her teeth and said, "There are only 18 of them. No matter how strong they are, they can't compete with our 300,000-strong army." The White Shark warship's energy shields were extremely tyrannical. But in order to resist various attacks, they would consume energy. The besiegement of 300,000 elites from the three legions could definitely exhaust the energy of a White Shark battleship. Not bad. After analyzing the Thorned Flower Federation's technology, my alchemy has improved greatly. The next step in the evolution of the divine armor of dawn is clear. Now it's time to take care of these ants. Unfortunately, the small world inside me is sealed. Otherwise, a mechanical legion would be able to wipe them out. Yang Feng looked at the performance of the Ink Phoenix young men and women and showed a look of satisfaction. He spread the fingers of a hand, countless runes shone, and a devour black hole suddenly appeared. After capturing the new Sand City, Yang Feng obtained more than 300 holy medicines not inferior to the 7-color god lotus. After consuming those holy medicines, Yang Feng has analyzed part of the laws of this world and can use his essence of devour. A fearsome devour force came out of the devour black hole and shot towards the warriors of the 3 corps. The soldiers of the 3 legions were sucked into the black hole like dust. As soon as they touched the black hole, they lost their breath, and their essence, energy, and spirit were sucked dry, and they turned into dried corpses. If the warriors of the 3 legions were removed from the strengthening of secret treasures, then each of them would only have the strength of a great warlock. The crystal spears in their hands could injure holy rank experts, but their bodies were extremely weak. They could not resist the power of the devour black hole. Just by touching the devour black hole, they would be drained of their life force. Bilina's face fell and she shouted, "Stop! Sir Yang Feng, I am the commander of the Thunder Corps, Bilina. The Thunder Corps surrenders. Please be lenient with me. Spare my subordinates." When Bilina's words came out, the warriors of the Thunder Corps fell to the ground like raindrops, escaping a disaster. Ludo, who looks like he aged by decades, uttered, "Please stop. Sir Yang Feng, I am the commander of the Flame Corps, Ludo. The Flame Corps surrenders. Please let the warriors of the Flame Corps go." Mozik smiled bitterly and said, "Sir Yang Feng, I am the commander of the Gale Corps, Mozik. The Gale Corps surrenders." The devour black hole disappeared and entered Yang Feng's hand. A large number of warriors of the 1034th Division flew out of the Beluga warship, flew towards the 3 corps, and began to incorporate the warriors of the 3 corps. After Yang Feng incorporated the warriors of the 3 legions, he immediately swept through the Thorny Flower Federation and began to capture one city after another. Every time he captures a city, Yang Feng can get 200 to 300 holy medicines comparable to the 7-color god lotus. He is making progress every day. Chapter 12:31. The 4 legions of the Thorned Flower Federation were destroyed, but the Pis City fell. The Gayus City fell. The Wood City fell. Yang Feng's offensive momentum is unstoppable. The 1037th Legion of the Thorned Flower Federation was destroyed. Information began to spread across the information network of the continent, causing the entire continent to be thrown into an uproar. The Thorned Flower Federation was one of the 3 overlords of the continent and possessed the most powerful technology in the world. When the 3 legions joined forces, they could even suppress the holy ones of the ancient mythological era. In a world where the laws of heaven and earth have changed, apart from the 2 empires, there were no opponents. For Yang Feng to destroy the 3 legions of the Thorned Flower Federation was simply a miracle. Under the command of Moni Rayton, Zhou Yuning, Bilina, Ludo, and Mozik, and with the remnants of the 4 legions as the main force, Yang Feng easily captured the Hope province of the Thorned Flower Federation's 13 provinces. After the 3 legions were defeated and surrendered, countless people of the Thorned Flower Federation came to Yang Feng's side and sided with him. In a reception room of the Xinsha city's town hall, there were 2 distinct groups of people sitting. One group had black hair and red pupils, the other had black hair and golden pupils. The men of the 2 groups were handsome, the women beautiful, and there was no one ugly. A handsome young man with black hair and red pupils exuding infinity warlock rank life force snorted coldly and said with a displeased expression, "Humph, heaven holy Yang Feng, how arrogant, to make us wait for an hour." A man with black hair and red pupils, who looked rather capable and experienced, raised his eyebrows and barked, "Qi Fian, shut up." Without the slightest fear, Qi Fian turned hostile and said, "Qi Yunning, I am the son of the Great Elder. In the future, the entire Red Dragon race will be mine. What right do you have to talk to me like this?" Qi Yungang barked, "I am the leader of the Red Dragon race's diplomatic mission. If you talk nonsense again, get the hell out of here. You are indeed the son of the Great Elder. However, The Red Dragon race doesn't belong to the Great Elder, but to all of us. Qi Fian's eyes flashed with anger, and he said coldly, "Very well, Qiang, you dare to talk to me like this. I will remember you. Beauty, I am the son of the Great Elder of the Red Dragon tribe, Qi Fian. What's your name?" Qi Fian didn't go head-on with Qi Yun. He revealed a frivolous smile and leaned toward a beautiful woman who was wearing black leather armor. She had a sexy figure and a stunning appearance. She was exuding a cold aura from head to toe. The black-haired, golden-eyed beauty glanced at Qi Fian coldly without saying a word. Qi Fian's eyes flashed with anger, and his voice became extremely cold. "You dare to ignore me? You have guts. I will make you pay for your actions today. What are you? How dare you behave atrociously in my territory?" A cold voice came from outside, attracting the attention of everyone in the conference hall. Yang Feng walked in from outside the conference hall, followed by two beautiful women, Zhou Yuning and Bilina. Among the Thornflower Sect's 4 heavenly kings, Manriadan's character was the worst. However, he was the strongest. He was so busy that he could scarcely breathe, dealing with the affairs of the Canton of Greece. "You are the heavenly saint? I am Qi Fian, the son of the Great Elder of the Red Dragon race. You have done a good job. My father appreciates you very much. I heard that you are short of manpower, so the Red Dragon race came to help you. We will send people to help you manage the Canton of Greece. Arrange them according to this list." Qi Fian glanced at Zhou Yuning and Bilina next to Yang Feng, and a lascivious glint flashed past his eyes. With an air of arrogance, he flicked his finger, and a golden page flew towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng looked at Qi Fian in surprise, as if looking at an idiot. This is the Red Dragon race? One of the 3 major races of the past? He wants to take everything away from me with just a few words. Is there something wrong with his head? Zhou Yuning said, "The Red Dragon race used to be the leader of the 3 major race alliance, and its underlying strength is unfathomable. Even now, it has its own territory in the Red Dragon Sea. The Great Elder of the Red Dragon race has great power, comparable to that of an emperor or a federation president." Yang Feng said coldly, "What a waste of good looks. Take care of him." "My lord." A cold glint flashed past Bilina's beautiful eyes, and she drew the special crystal gun Thunder Reaper, locked on Qi Fian, and pulled the trigger. Countless bolts of lightning flashed and turned into a lightning beam barreling towards Qi Fian. Layers of magic barriers appeared around Qi Fian, but they were pierced by the fearsome lightning pillar and turned into ashes. "Stop! Sir Heaven Holy!" At this moment, Qi Yunggang's voice came from the side. The Red Dragon race powerhouses erupted with dragon qi and stared at Yang Feng. Zhou Yuning waved her hand, and more than 100 heavily armed elite warriors emerged from various places and pointed crystal guns at Qi Yungang and the other Red Dragon race powerhouses. So long as Yang Feng gave the order, they would be able to kill the Red Dragon race powerhouses. Qi Yungang quickly said, "It's a misunderstanding, it's a misunderstanding. Sir Heaven Holy, I am Qi Yungang, the leader of the Red Dragon race's emissary delegation. The Red Dragon race has no intention of being enemies with you. We have come here to help you. As long as you form an alliance with the Red Dragon race, you will be able to sweep through the world and unify it in the future. Those who are not of the same race must have different intentions. The people from the 3 empires cannot be trusted at all. They will definitely betray you." When she heard this, Zhou Yuning's beautiful eyes flashed with a glimmer of light. Bilina's beautiful eyes shimmered with coldness. The Red Dragon race was one of the 3 ancient races. Even after its decline, it still established a pure land in the sea. It was much stronger than the other 2 races. With the Red Dragon race's help, it would no longer be impossible for Yang Feng to unify the world. Yang Feng said with a cold smile, "No need. I will unify the world in the future, and the world can only have my will. The Red Dragon race wants to be my ally? Unless you can come up with power that rivals mine, I won't ally with the Red Dragon race. No matter who they are, as long as they serve me, they will be my most loyal subordinates. I will treat them equally. Merit will be rewarded, and mistakes will be punished, no matter who they are. In my eyes, there is no difference between the people of the three empires and the people of the three races. When the elite warriors of the Thorned Flower Federation heard Yang Feng's words, they heaved a sigh of relief. Yang Feng has Oriental characteristics, which is a special characteristic of the three races in the Whale Origin continent. Although the warriors of the Thorned Flower Federation were forced to submit to Yang Feng, but many of them were subdued by his peerless power. Undercurrents were surging. As long as Yang Feng showed a trace of defeat, they would rebel. Yang Feng went to the seat of honor and sat down. He glanced at the Red Dragon race people, waved his hand, and said coldly, "You can go." The warriors of the Thorned Flower Federation pointed their guns at the Red Dragon race emissaries. Helpless, the Red Dragon race emissaries could only be driven away. Peng Lang, envoy of the Golden Rock race, greets Sir Heaven Holy. A black-haired, golden-eyed, tall, and handsome man saluted Yang Feng and said respectfully. Yang Feng said lightly, "What are you doing here?" "The Golden Rock race is willing to submit to you and contribute to your great cause of unifying the world. This is a treasure of our race that has been passed down for countless years. Legend has it that it has infinite power in ancient times. Please accept it." Peng Lang waved his hand, and the cold and beautiful Golden Rock race woman walked to in front of Yang Feng with a stone box in hand, a fragrance wafting from her. Yang Feng looked at the beautiful Golden Rock race woman with a look of appreciation in his eyes. He casually opened the stone box and took a look inside. Kunmo Dusk. It's actually Kunmo Dusk. When Yang Feng saw the stone in the stone box, all of his indifference disappeared, and his eyebrows brimmed with ecstasy. Kunmo Dusk was a mysterious divine stone with all kinds of incredible powers. Yang Feng's Twilight God armor, which was inlaid with Kunmo Dusk stone, possessed all kinds of incredible powers and had the potential to evolve into an eternal treasure. With Kunmo Dusk stone in hand, Yang Feng's Twilight God armor could become more powerful and possess even more terrifying evolution power. Yang Feng put away Kunmo Dusk stone and said with a smile, "Peng Lang, this treasure is very important to me. I have seen the sincerity of the Golden Rock race. If you have any conditions, feel free to state them." Peng Lang was overjoyed and said decisively, "Sir Heaven Holy, this is my younger sister Peng Shuang. Please take her as your wife." Yang Feng smiled and said, "Okay, I agree. I will officially take her as my wife. In the future, after I unify the world, I will confer her the title of Imperial Concubine." Peng Shuang had a sexy figure and a cool temperament. She was also a peerless beauty. Even if it was a political marriage, Yang Feng had no reason to refuse. Peng Lang was overjoyed. "Thank you, sir." Peng Shuang's pretty face welled up with redness. "If you have any treasures passed down from ancient times, you can bring them to me. As long as they are useful to me, I won't be stingy with my rewards." Yang Feng smiled and pointed with a finger, and a rune appeared and mysterious light entered Peng Lang. Peng Lang's bloodline boiled, and a fearsome golden rock suddenly appeared and radiated resplendent golden light. His life force rose from the Bright World Warlock rank all the way to the Infinity Warlock realm, and then continued breaking through until he became a Pinnacle Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse in one fell swoop. When Peng Lang felt the power inside him fill him, he immediately revealed a look of excitement and said, "Thank you, sir, for stimulating the power of my bloodline." Chapter 1232. There was a flash of surprise in Yang Feng's eyes. "True Spirit bloodline? No, it's a bloodline above True Spirit, close to eternal bloodline. The origins of the three races are really extraordinary." At this time, Yang Feng already possesses a great holy step cultivation base, is proficient in countless secret methods, and possesses the extraordinary power to turn the rotten into the miraculous and resurrect humans who have just died. However, it isn't very possible to promote a Bright World Warlock to a Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse at once. The reason why Peng Lang was able to break through from a Pinnacle Bright World Warlock rank powerhouse to a Warlock Monarch rank powerhouse in one step is that his bloodline is very powerful. Moreover, he usually uses many treasures of heaven and earth that are close to the fruit of eternity. The powerful medicinal force accumulated in his body is then guided out by Yang Feng. With the help of the power of his bloodline, he was able to break through so quickly. The surrounding gazes were all focused on Peng Lang, all of them flashing with a scorching light. In the Whale continent, warlock monarch rank powerhouses are extremely rare. The Thorned Flower Federation's 4 heavenly lords are only supreme infinity warlock rank powerhouses. However, with the help of all kinds of incredible secret treasures, they possess the power to threaten Holy Spirit warlock rank powerhouses. When Peng Lang advanced to a warlock monarch rank powerhouse, he became one of the strongest powerhouses in the Whale continent from an unknown nobody. Yang Feng said with a smile, "Peng Lang, if you have any other treasures from ancient times, you can give them to me. I will definitely pay you a satisfactory price." Peng Lang's eyes flashed with a scorching shade. "Yes, sir." The Thorned Flower Federation's headquarters, the Thorned Flower Palace. The 4 legions have been destroyed. The Thorned Flower Federation has reached the most critical moment. If you have any opinions, feel free to speak them out. An old man with a head full of white hair and a face full of wrinkles, yet still very spirited, sitting on the president's throne, swept the many ministers of the Thorned Flower Federation with a glance and said calmly. The Thorned Flower Federation's finance minister, who wears glasses and has neatly combed hair, frowned slightly and asked, "Minister of Defense, if we transfer 600,000 troops from the border, can we suppress Yang Feng in one fell swoop?" The Thorned Flower Federation's Minister of Defense said unhurriedly, "According to the analysis of the General Staff, even if we transfer 600,000 troops from the border and use our strategic armory, we still won't be the opponent of the heaven-holy Yang Feng. In the ancient era, he was in existence comparable to the top protectors of the 3 great races." An ancient guardian god? How is this possible? The laws of heaven and earth in this world have already changed. It's impossible for another ancient guardian god to be born. How could the heaven-holy Yang Feng possess such terrifying power? The faces of the higher-ups of the Thorned Flower Federation changed greatly, and they began discussing among themselves. The 3 great experts were the protectors of the ancient era. Every single one of them was a terrifying expert at the Great Sage realm or above. That was why they were able to dominate the entire Whale Yuan continent. The Thorned Flower Federation's Minister of Defense was silent for a while, and then said, "If we want to defeat the heaven-holy Yang Feng, we can only ask the ancestor to fight." The venue suddenly fell silent, and everyone became hesitant. There had always been a legend among the 3 empires. It was that the primogenitors of the 3 empires, who had fought fiercely with the ancient guardians of the 3 powerful races, were still alive in this world. Ordinary people regarded this legend as a myth. Only the higher-ups of the 3 empires knew that this was a fact. Every year, the 3 empires had to put a large number of precious treasures of heaven and earth on designated altars and offer them to the ancestors of the 3 empires through the altars. The altars contained mysterious power. No matter how the scientists of the 3 empires analyzed them, they couldn't figure out what the altars were. On one hand, the technology of the 3 empires was developed by themselves. On the other hand, it was thanks to the guidance of the ancestors hidden in unknown places that they were so powerful and heaven-defying. The Minister of Finance hesitated for a while and then said, "If we want to ask the ancestors to fight, we must use the 3 holy relics and communicate with them. The 3 holy relics are in the hands of the 3 empires. The Amon Federation and the Radiant Empire are our enemies. Who knows how much time it will take to get them to agree to use the holy relics? If it takes too long, the heaven-holy Yang Feng will capture the Thorned Flower Federation before the negotiations can be completed." The 3 empires have been fighting each other for more than 700 years in the Whale Yuan continent. During these 700 years, the 3 empires have formed a blood feud, and they hate each other. Even if they sent envoys, it would take a lot of time to convince the other 2 empires. The president of the Thorned Flower Federation pressed a button and said lightly, "Come in." A very handsome middle-aged man with blue hair and blue eyes and a very capable middle-aged man with chestnut hair and blue eyes walked in together. The middle-aged man with blue hair and blue eyes said with a smile, "I am Long Bell, an emissary of the Amon Federation. Under the secret order of the president, I have brought my country's holy relic Tolan seal. As long as your country agrees, I can use my country's holy relic to communicate with the great ancestors." The man with chestnut hair and blue eyes said in an aloof tone with an expressionless face, "I am Cullen Geldo, an emissary of the Radiant Empire. Under the order of His Majesty the Emperor, I have brought my country's holy relic Radiant Chest. Your country is using this holy relic to communicate with the great ancestors and suppress the evil barbarian Heaven Holy Yang Phone." The president of the Thorned Flower Federation uttered with a faint smile, "Please take the two holy relic to the heaven altar. I am going to communicate with the ancestors and ask them to suppress the freak Heaven Holy Yang Phone." The Minister of Finance couldn't help but urge, "Sir President, please reconsider. If the three states join forces and mobilize the armies of the three states, there may be hope to suppress Yang Phone. To communicate with the ancestors of the three empires, not only would you have to use the three holy relic, but you would also have to consume the life of at least one pureblood descendant of the three empires." The presidents and royals of the three empires were the direct descendants of the primogenitors, and they were also their pure-blooded descendants. Asking the ancestors to take action meant that they would die. The eyes of the president of the Thorned Flower Federation shimmered with sacred light, and he said calmly, "When I took office as president, I vowed to dedicate everything to the Federation. Now it is time for me to fulfill my promise. Long live the Thorned Flower Federation. Long live the Thorned Flower Federation." In the hall, the high-ranking officials of the Thorned Flower Federation stood up and shouted. The president of the Thorned Flower Federation smiled in relief and strode outside. There were a total of 3 heaven altars, which were controlled by the 3 empires. They were distributed in the core of the 3 empires' capitals and were heavily guarded. The Thorned Flower Federation's heaven altar was located in a square covering an area of thousands of hectares. In the center of the square, there was a 900-meter tall, beautiful, and mysterious altar engraved with countless mysterious runes and exuding a metallic luster. Tens of thousands of elite warriors of the Thorned Flower Federation guarded the heaven altar with weapons in hand. In the sky, there were 40 white shark warships, 200-plus blue swordfish warships, and 500-plus older warships. The Thorned Flower Federation manufactured many warships every year. The newest warships would be put into use, while the older warships would be vacuum-sealed. Once a war broke out, the older warships would also be put to use, forming a formidable fighting force. Great Ancestor, your descendants sincerely pray here. We hope that you will listen to our voice. The president of the Thorned Flower Federation prostrated himself in front of the huge altar and prayed loudly. The 3 holy artifacts, Seal of Torin, Chest of Light, and Ring of Thorns, were embedded under the altar. Countless runes flickered and emitted a mysterious radiance. 199 beautiful girls were holding boxes of incomparably precious heavenly materials and earthly treasures, placing them on the altar where the sacrificial offerings were placed. A demon from the outer domain has descended to our world. He wants to unify this world, destroy your descendants, destroy your altar, and plunder everything you have left behind. Great Ancestor, please descend to this world, suppress that evil demon, and save your descendants. I am willing to sacrifice everything to beg you to descend. Under the prayer of the Thorned Flower Federation's president, a resplendent beam of light shot into the sky, as if a door had been opened in the unseen world. An incomparably mysterious long river appeared in the void. A pair of eyes opened from the mysterious long river and looked at the Thorned Flower Federation president with a cold gaze. Haven't you killed the remnants of the ancient era? A cold and cruel voice reverberated in the area, and wisps of immortal empyrean might spread from the pair of eyes. A transparent figure struggled slightly in the mysterious river, and the mysterious river immediately became chaotic. It's not time yet. Antalunsi, go and kill all the remnants of the ancient era. The pair of eyes closed and sank into the river of time. Sir. In the river of time, a stone statue appeared, cracked open, and a black ray entered the void in accordance with the law of the unseen world. In the altar of heaven, the Thorned Flower Federation's president was shrouded by a mysterious force, and his body shriveled and turned into ashes. Within the Whale Origin continent, the direct descendants of the ancestor trembled slightly, and a look of horror appeared on their faces as they were absorbed by a mysterious force, turned into dried corpses, and finally turned into ashes. A beam of light emerged from the altar and connected to the unseen world. An expert with blonde hair, blue eyes, a burly, handsome face, and a pair of goat horns on his head slowly appeared. There was a mysterious rune on his forehead, and he wore a set of white armor. He held a silver-white dragon spear that was 3 meters long in his hand. Chapter 12:33. Great Ancestor, Eternal Immortality. As soon as the aristocrats of the 3 empires sensed the terrifying aura exuding from the powerhouse, they knelt on the ground. The eyes of many aristocrats flashed with excitement. The progenitors of the 3 empires are the protectors of their race and are worshipped and revered by everyone. There are many temples in the 3 empires that enshrine the progenitors of the 3 empires. The progenitor of the 3 empires descended from the altar and opened his eyes, which shone with countless mysterious runes. A silver eyeball appeared behind the ancestor of the 3 empires. Rays of light peered at the entire Whale Yuan continent. In the beautiful garden of a villa in the Xensha city, Yang Feng is sitting on a recliner with jade boxes placed beside him and mysterious runes revolving around him. The Whale Origin continent is very mysterious. It is completely different from the Eternal Path and the main world. It is a link between a high-energy level universe and a low-energy level universe. In the Whale Origin continent, there are countless precious holy medicines. Although these holy medicines cannot compare to fruits of eternity, but they are only slightly inferior. Each holy medicine contains the laws of a high-energy level universe. For a great holy step warlock like Yang Feng, it is the key to analyzing the laws of the high-energy level universe. Every time he devours a holy medicine, Yang Feng's strength will increase continuously. At this time, all of Yang Feng's injuries have been completely healed, and he has become stronger than before. Someone is spying on me. This direction is the capital of the Thorned Flower Federation, the Thorned Flower City. So strong, this is a quasi-Empyrean steppe powerhouse. Yang Feng's eyes constricted slightly, his eyes shimmered with excitement, and countless mysterious runes appeared. He looked into the distance and saw the progenitor of the Thorned Flower Federation's capital standing proudly in the void at a glance. Yang Feng got up, took a step forward, crossed 10,000 kilometers, and leisurely walked towards the Thorned Flower Federation's capital. The space around the heaven altar shimmered with ripples, and a young man with an extraordinary temperament appeared in the void. 100,000 kilometers in 5 steps. Yang Feng took 5 steps, crossed the distance of 100,000 kilometers, and appeared here. The handsome man, who looks like a god, quietly looked at Yang Feng and said unhurriedly, "You are the heaven-holy Yang Feng. I am Fernandez, the first divine general of the Turin god clan." Yang Feng replied calmly, "I am the human heaven-holy Yang Feng." Yang Feng, he's the heaven-holy Yang Feng. That's him. He's actually not at a disadvantage in front of my race's primogenitor. Truly powerful. He's the one who killed the president. The senior officials of the Thorned Flower Federation stared at Yang Feng with fear and anger in their eyes. Fernandez's eyes flashed with admiration as he slowly said, "Human race? Since you're not from the Crimson Dragon clan, the Ink Phoenix clan, or the Golden Rock clan, then there's no enmity between us. Your strength is not bad. If you join our Turin God clan, I can let you manage an empire." Yang Feng said with a smile, "An empire? Fernandez, my target is the entire continent. Your Turin God clan should withdraw from the Whale Origin continent. The Whale Origin continent, this special plane, is even more valuable than the 36 primary material planes of the world. It contains endless secrets. There are a lot of treasures of heaven and earth like the 7-color god lotus, second only to the eternal god fruit. If he can firmly grasp this continent, Yang Feng will be able to get many precious resources from this continent and cultivate many holy and even great holy step powerhouses. How arrogant! Let's go to the void battlefield. As long as you can defeat me, the whale origin continent is yours. Fernandez smiled coldly, then blurred into motion, turned into a stream of light, and flew towards the starry sky. Yang Feng's figure blurred, and he followed Fernandez and flew towards the starry sky. Whether it is Yang Feng or Fernandez, they are not willing to fight in the whale origin continent. If great holy step powerhouses and above fight in the whale origin continent, it will cause landslides, space to crack, the environment to be polluted, and life to perish. The whale origin continent's origin is extremely powerful. Although the fight between Yang Feng and Fernandez won't blast the whale origin continent to pieces, but it can turn the continent into a living hell. This is not a situation that the two powerhouses want to see. In an empty starry sky tens of thousands of light years away from the whale origin continent, two rays of light flashed, and they appeared in the starry sky. Yang Feng, I'll ask you again. Do you want to join my Turin God race, or do you want to die here? Fernandez's silver armor shone brightly, and countless mysterious runes revolved around him, making him look like a god. He stared coldly at Yang Feng. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with scorching fighting spirit, and he uttered frigidly, "My choice is to kill you here." Stubborn fool. Since that's the case, you can go to hell. Fernandez's eyes shimmered with killing intent, and he took a step forward. Countless runes shone on his body, and he stabbed at Yang Feng with the dragon spear in his hand. The silver dragon spear shone brightly, absorbed power from an area tens of thousands of kilometers in radius, and formed a silver beam containing the law of karma that can penetrate everything stabbing towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng spread the fingers of a hand, and a devour black hole suddenly appeared, distorted the void, suppressed everything, and swept towards the silver dragon spear. When the silver dragon spear hit the devour black hole, silver light shone, and it pierced through the black hole in an instant and stabbed towards Yang Feng. A green sun halberd emerged from the void. Countless runes shone, and 10 green suns merged into one and turned into a green halberd ray that stabbed at the silver dragon spear. Boom! The 10 azure suns were directly shattered, and a terrifying power surged out, causing an earth-shattering sound of an explosion. Fernandez and Yang Feng were both sent flying 100 kilometers away due to the frightening backlash force. Empyrean-grade secret treasure? So that's how it is. Since you have an Empyrean-grade secret treasure, no wonder a trifling great holy dares to provoke me. Fernandez glanced at Yang Feng, surprise flashed in his eyes, and he sneered. However, although an Empyrean-grade secret treasure is extremely powerful, but in your hands, it's like casting pearls before swine. You can't unleash its full power. After I kill you, it will belong to me. Fernandez's eyes shimmered coldly, countless mysterious runes appeared on the white armor he wore, a white star appeared behind him, and wisps of essence of power pervaded his body. The universe energy within an area of 100,000 kilometers in radius was absorbed and controlled by Fernandez. When Fernandez stabbed with the dragon spear, the void collapsed and suppressed everything. The area of 100,000 kilometers in radius formed an independent small universe that repelled Yang Feng, but channeled all its power to Fernandez. Runes shone all over Yang Feng's body, and he cast countless secret methods with the green sun halberd in hand, which turned into 10 green suns and stabbed towards Fernandez. Boom! This time, the silver dragon spear easily pierced through the 10 suns, strangely stabbed Yang Feng's shoulder, pierced through the twilight god armor, and blasted open a huge hole, from which blood flowed out. Fernandez's battle experience was extremely rich. After his attack succeeded, he unleashed a storm of attacks on Yang Feng. Silver light shone, and silver spear rays appeared and disappeared mysteriously, stabbed towards Yang Feng, tore apart the defense of the twilight god armor, and stabbed large holes in Yang Feng's body. As expected of a quasi-Empyrean step powerhouse, it's still difficult for me to contend against him in my ordinary form. Activate the second form. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered with enigmatic light, and countless runes shone on him. The Twilight God armor entered the second form at once. Countless mysterious runes emerged on the Twilight God armor, and a fearsome force poured into him. When the green sun halberd stabbed out, it blossomed with dazzling light. 10 green suns blossomed again, condensed into one, and stabbed the silver spear. The terrifying force sent Fernandez flying 100 kilometers away. How is this possible? How can a mere great holy be so powerful? After he was blasted away, Fernandez cried out with a look of shock on his face. This won't do. In the second form, I can at most draw with him. In order to defeat him, I must activate the third form. Third form, activate. Yang Feng's eyes flickered coldly, and the Twilight God armor shone, and a devour black hole suddenly appeared. The projections of a crown, a gold horn, an armor, a halberd, and an origin bead appeared on the projection inside the devour black hole. Yang Feng took a step, merged with the mysterious projection, and stabbed with the halberd. In an instant, a distorted ray of light, golden divine light, a devour black hole, a torrent of time, and a projection of a martyr suddenly appeared, broke through the 100,000-kilometer blockade with absolute power, and stabbed towards Fernandez. Blessings of the Turin God. Fernandez's face changed dramatically. For the first time, he felt that his life was threatened. A pendant on his chest flew up and opened, and countless runes flickered and formed a shelter shining with sacred light. Blessings of the Turin God. This secret treasure is a life-saving secret treasure given to Fernandez by the Turin Great Emperor. Even if it is an attack from a quasi-Empyrean steppe powerhouse, they won't be able to break the blessings of the Turin God for a while. The green sun halberd pierced through everything, tore through the sky, and stabbed into the god of Turin's shelter. The green sun halberd exploded, and green flames that could incinerate everything enveloped the god of Turin's shelter. The green sun halberd pierced a large hole in the blessings of the Turin God. Chapter 12:34. So strong. This is the Turin shelter. Even quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouses find it difficult to break through the shelter, yet he pierced a hole through it. He's just a great holy, an intermediate great holy at that. When did the human race become so powerful? Fernandez's eyes flashed with astonishment, and he was horrified. The Turin shelter is a top defensive secret treasure that the Turin Great Emperor spent a huge amount of resources and power to refine. At the time, it was a protective treasure of the Turin Great Emperor when he was a quasi-Empyrean. If Fernandez wasn't the first divine general under his command, he wouldn't have been able to obtain this secret treasure. A black hole suddenly appeared, shone with countless runes, and frantically devoured the barrier of the Turin shelter. Countless top-notch braves of various eras appeared behind Yang Feng, radiated resplendent light, and poured all kinds of exquisite battle skills into Yang Feng's body. Each of his strikes contained exquisite and thoroughly tempered battle skills as he attacked Fernandez. After the Dawn God armor devoured the halberd of the God of War and the armor of Victory, not only did its defensive power rise to a higher level, but it also possesses one of the 2 Empyrean grade secret treasure authorities, Brave Spirit Summon and Brave Spirit Fusion. Originally, Yang Feng's battle skills were slightly inferior to Fernandez's. But after fusing with the power of countless braves, his battle skills are almost perfect, and he firmly suppressed Fernandez. Heaven Holy, I admit that you are very strong. But if you want to maintain this form, you'll have to consume a lot of energy. As long as I wait until you can't hold on any longer, I'll be able to win. Your strength has won my respect. How about we divide the whale origin continent equally? Fernandez was like a silver god of war, tyrannical and peerlessly fierce. With the Turin shelter above his head, he tangled with Yang Feng. Every spear thrust contained infinite variations, forcibly blocking the attacks of Yang Feng's third form. If you can block my next attack, then we'll divide the whale origin continent equally. Fourth form, activate. A cold glint flashed past Yang Feng's eyes, and he merged with the mysterious projection. A tremendous amount of power poured into him from the Kunmo stone. Countless mysterious runes appeared, and a black hole that seems capable of devouring a universe suddenly appeared and barreled towards Fernandez. Damn it! Fernandez's expression changed drastically. With his extraordinary perception, he sensed that his life was in danger from that terrifying black hole. Countless runes flashed and turned into a silver dragon spear that pierced into the distance. Everything in front of the silver dragon spear was penetrated, and it flew 300,000 kilometers away in an instant. The devour black hole expanded infinitely in an instant. In a breath of time, it expanded to 1,000,000 kilometers, and fearsome devour force shrouded Fernandez, making him very slow. A steady stream of life origin was extracted from Fernandez and entered Yang Feng's body. Fernandez's eyes looked cold, and he stopped struggling. His body shone with a silver light, which turned into a spell that went into the Turin god shelter. Blessed by Fernandez's power, countless mysterious runes appeared on the Turin god shelter and locked the power inside. 10 silver beads flew out and, as if fulcrums, flew into the nodes of the Turin god shelter, radiated resplendent silver light, and formed a second barrier that locked Fernandez's life origin. The tremendous devour force from Yang Feng's devour black hole shrouded the Turin god shelter and extracted the power inside. However, compared to Yang Feng's tremendous consumption, the power obtained from the devour was like a drop in the bucket. As expected of the first divine general subordinated to the Turin Great Emperor in ancient times, your response was correct. The fourth form consumes too much energy, and I can't maintain it for too long. If it was just me, I really wouldn't be able to do anything to you. But the premise is that I'm the only one. Yang Feng's eyes flashed with admiration. Fernandez, who has rich combat experience, could tell at a glance that Yang Feng's fourth form couldn't be maintained for long. As long as Fernandez can hold on, Yang Feng will be sucked dry by the armor of dawn instead. Spatial ripples flickered, and a swarm of devour rulers appeared and turned into a terrifying mechanical flood that rushed towards Fernandez. When the devour rulers pounced on the Turin god shelter, devour runes appeared on them. The devour rulers have been fine-tuned by Yang Feng to adapt to the environment of this universe. Furthermore, strengthened by the laws of the universe's high energy level, they have become even more fearsome, far surpassing the scope of Shizu technology. As soon as the devour rulers activated their devour ability, the energy inside the Turin god shelter's barrier poured out like a flood. Fuck! Fernandez's face changed dramatically in an instant. He clearly sensed that his power was disappearing and being devoured by the Turin god shelter. Go to hell! Fernandez's eyes shimmered coldly and he got up. The dragon spear in his hand turned into a silver ray and stabbed out 136 times in an instant. When the 136 spear strikes the 136 devour rulers, fearsome silver light engulfed the 36 devour rulers and shattered them into pieces. You moved. Unfortunately, if you had held on for a while, we might have ended in a tie. Now that you moved, you can go to hell. Yang Feng's carefree laughter came from the devour black hole. Mysterious runes emerged from the divine shelter that Fernandez opened and stuck to him. The strange runes shone brightly and devoured everything in Fernandez's life origin. Shit! Fernandez's face fell, and he silently recited an incantation, and silver light turned into dragon spears that stabbed at the devour runes. When the dragon spears stabbed at the devour runes, they pierced through them one after another. Thousands upon thousands of devour runes appeared inside the Turin god shelter and pounced at Fernandez. Fernandez erupted in an instant. Silver light shone, and the silver spear in his hand stabbed tens of thousands of times, piercing through the devour runes one after another. At this moment, the Turin god shelter's barrier collapsed, and all its power was absorbed by the devour black hole. At the moment when the Turin god shelter's barrier collapsed, Fernandez's life origin flowed away and entered the devour black hole. Fernandez, I admire you very much. As long as you swear to submit to me and let me set up a soul restriction, I will spare your life. Yang Feng's voice echoed in the devour black hole. Yang Feng's voice echoed in the devour black hole. Impossible. Yang Feng, I, Fernandez, have sworn to dedicate my life to the mighty Turin Great Emperor. I will never submit to you. Since you want to kill me, then let's die together. Fernandez's eyes shone fiercely, and he bellowed. Countless runes appeared, and he burned with silver flames. In an instant, Fernandez burned all his power and turned into a silver spear that pierced through the void and stabbed towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng's eyes shimmered coldly, and a halberd containing the will of countless braves and a resplendent golden horn that can run through anything suddenly flew out and barreled towards the silver spear that Fernandez has incarnated into. Fernandez's embodiment of a silver spear slammed into the halberd and smashed it, then stabbed the gold horn and smashed it. Almost as if he teleported, he appeared in front of Yang Feng, stabbed the spear into Yang Feng's chest, pierced through the divine armor of dawn, and stabbed Yang Feng's heart. In an instant, endless silver light burst out in an attempt to tear Yang Feng to pieces. The Twilight God armor shone brightly, and fearsome devour force erupted and devoured the silver light. It's a pity that I didn't kill you for the great emperor. Regret flashed in Fernandez's eyes, and he smiled as he turned into dust and disappeared in the silver light. The devour black hole that shrouded the world collapsed. Yang Feng coughed up a large amount of blood. A large hole appeared on the left chest that Fernandez pierced through, and drops of great holy blood dripped into the void. What a fearsome enemy! Yang Feng looked at the place where Fernandez disappeared with a look of respect in his eyes. If Fernandez hadn't chosen to burn himself, he would have been completely devoured by Yang Feng, and wouldn't have been able to injure Yang Feng in the slightest. But Fernandez decisively burned his life force and soul and unleashed a desperate secret method that severely injured Yang Feng with a final blow. Even Yang Feng's soul suffered a lot of damage. Fortunately, my soul has reached perfection. Otherwise, it would take at least 100,000 years for my soul to recover from Fernandez's desperate blow. Yang Feng scanned the area with his soul, and his eyes flashed with joy. The desperate blow launched by the quasi-Empyrean rank powerhouse by burning his life force and soul is extraordinarily powerful. Even though Yang Feng is in his fourth form and has the Twilight God armor protecting him, he was still seriously injured. Fernandez. In a mysterious torrent of time in the nether space, a pair of eyes slowly opened, and a voice that seems to shake the world sounded in the area. Chapter 1235. That incomparably terrifying voice resounded, causing the entire river of time to ripple. In the river of time, countless rays of light shone, runes emerged, and formed a fearsome figure. Wisps of immortal Empyrean might diffused from the figure. The figure carefully reached out a finger and arrived outside the river of time. As soon as the finger, which seems to contain endless mysteries and laws, left the protection of the river of time, as if it has been scoured by time for tens of thousands of years, it shriveled. Damn it, the time isn't right yet. However, this soul fluctuation, I'll remember you. A voice filled with killing intent rang out from within the river of time. The pair of mysterious eyes were filled with unwillingness as they closed. The Thornflower Federation's headquarters, Heaven Altar. Ripples shone in the void, and Yang Feng walked out. There isn't a trace of injury on his body. That's the Heaven Holy Yang Feng. He actually survived Lord Ancestor's attack. Heaven Holy Yang Feng, he's actually still alive. In other words, Lord Ancestor has been defeated. How is this possible? How could Lord Ancestor be defeated? When the Thornflower Federation's senior officials saw Yang Feng walk out of the void, their eyes flashed with fear and despair. Yang Feng's appearance here shows that the ancestors the three empires summoned at a huge price have either died or been defeated by him. No matter which one it is, for the three empires, it's equivalent to a disaster. This is a huge summoning altar. It communicates with different mysterious spaces. According to the data, since the three empires' ancestors defeated the continent's three major races, they have disappeared. It seems that they should have fallen asleep, waiting for the arrival of this era. Turin God race. I have never heard of this race in the world of warlocks. In the Gamana universe, I have never heard of this race. If I have time, I really want to fight this race. Yang Feng beckoned with his hand, and the three holy objects on the altar flew into his hand. The heaven altar dimmed and lost all its extraordinary power. A dense swarm of Devour rulers suddenly appeared and pounced on the heaven altar. Under the despairing gazes of the members of the Thornflower Federation, the heaven altar, which was used to communicate with their primogenitor, was devoured by the Devour ruler. The high-ranking officials of the Thornflower Federation watched helplessly as the altar of heaven was devoured. No one dared to challenge Yang Feng. Everyone is well aware of the strength of their ancestor. Yang Feng, who defeated the ancestor, is an existence that makes them despair. If they challenge him now, they will only be throwing away their lives in vain. I've already killed the primogenitor you summoned. From today onwards, I am the master of the Whale Yuan continent. Surrender now. If you don't surrender, then die. Standing in the void, Yang Feng looked down at the high-ranking officials of the Thornflower Federation and said lightly. Most of the high-ranking officials of the Thornflower Federation only had Moonlight Warlock rank cultivation bases, and there was no lack of great Warlock rank existences. Even if they join forces and the Thornflower Federation soldiers outside, they still won't be Yang Feng's opponent. The former Thornflower Federation's Minister of Defense, Elrond, is willing to serve Lord Heavenly Saint. The former Thornflower Federation's Minister of Defense sighed slightly, knelt on one knee, and said respectfully. The former Thornflower Federation's Minister of Finance, Locke, is willing to serve Lord Heavenly Saint. Now that the president of the Thornflower Federation is dead, the remaining high-ranking officials are well aware that the three empires no longer have the power to contend with the man standing in midair. Yang Feng extended his hand into the void and spread the fingers of a hand. Spatial ripples flickered, and Mon Rayton and his White Knight Corps appeared in the void. Ever since the White Knight Corps of the three empires was disbanded, Mon Rayton began to rebuild the White Knight Corps, and it has been very effective. Where is this? How come I'm here? As soon as the White Knight Corps' soldiers appeared, they fell into chaos. Mon Rayton is worthy of being one of the four heavenly lords. He reacted at once and saluted Yang Feng, saying, "Greetings, Lord. Why did you summon us, Lord?" Yang Feng answered, "This is the capital of the Thornflower Federation. My subordinates have declared their allegiance to me. Can you control the situation here?" The Minister of Defense, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Agriculture, they all surrendered? Mon Rayton looked at the bigwigs of the Thornflower Federation, and his heart shook slightly. The corners of his mouth rose slightly, and he revealed a carefree expression. In the Thornflower Federation, although Mon Rayton was one of the four heavenly lords and the commander of the White Knight Corps, but his status was much lower than that of the Minister of Defense and other bigwigs. Now that these bigwigs, who used to be aloof, were prostrating at his feet, Mon Rayton felt carefree inside. Mon Rayton uttered decisively, "Lord, they are the pillars of the Thornflower Federation. As long as they surrender, coupled with my White Knight Corps, I'm confident that I can control the situation here. Then I'll leave this place to you." Yang Feng took a step forward, his figure blurred, and he disappeared in a flash. In the Amon Federation's capital, there was a ripple in the void where the altar of heaven is located, and Yang Feng stepped out of the void. Enemy attack. The garrison troops around the altar were alarmed and launched an attack at Yang Feng. A dense rain of light beams barreled towards Yang Feng. Yang Feng pointed with a finger, and a Devour black hole emerged and swept towards the garrison troops below with fearsome Devour force. As if ants, the tens of thousands of elite garrison troops near the altar of heaven were sucked into the Devour black hole and turned into dust that scattered on the ground. With a wave of Yang Feng's hand, the swarm of Devour rulers rushed towards the altar of heaven and devoured it. How is this possible? How can there be such a powerful person? He's destroying the altar of heaven. Damn it, the altar of heaven was destroyed by him. Our connection with the progenitor was severed. How could this be? When the upper echelon of the Amon Federation saw the tens of thousands of elites wiped out and the collapse of the altar of heaven, their eyes shimmered with despair. The progenitor you summoned has been slain by me. I'll destroy the altar of heaven as well. Submit to me or die. Take your time to think about it. Yang Feng left a few words, and then disappeared. In a conference room, the Amman Federation's president and other upper echelon of the Amman Federation are sitting. The complexions of the upper echelon of the Amman Federation are unsightly. With the three empires dominating the whale origin continent, the upper echelon of the Amman Federation are lofty bigwigs. Even powerhouses at the level of the four heavenly kings could hardly threaten their lives. But now an invincible existence that can deprive them of their lives at will has appeared. This naturally filled them with shock. He's lying. Sir Progenitor is invincible. How could he have killed him? That's right. Let's hide and find a way to communicate with the Progenitor. Let the Progenitor descend and lead us to kill that monster. That's right. In the conference room, the upper echelon of the Amman Federation discussed spiritedly. The complexion of the Amman Federation's president, however, didn't improve. Suddenly, a blue communications gem lit up beside the Amman Federation's president. He pressed the blue communications gem with his hand, and his complexion changed dramatically at once, looking like he aged by hundreds of years. A dignified look in his eyes, the Amman Federation's Minister of Defense asked, "Sir President, what happened?" The conference room fell into silence, and all eyes focused on the Amman Federation's president. The Amman Federation's president said with difficulty, "The Thorned Flower Federation successfully summoned the Progenitor. The Progenitor and the Heaven Holy had a duel in the void. In the end, only the Heaven Holy returned and destroyed the Thorned Flower Federation's altar of heaven." The conference room was deathly silent. The eyes of the Amman Federation's upper echelon shimmered with despair. The Progenitor was the last trump card of the three empires as well as the pillar of the three empires. With the Progenitor, who was rumored to possess invincible power, defeated by Yang Feng, the three empires no longer had the power to resist. Before long, the blue communications gem lit up again, and the Amman Federation's president pressed the blue communications gem with his hand. The Amman Federation's president said unhurriedly, "The Radiant Empire's altar of heaven has been destroyed by the Heaven Holy. Our channel of communication with the Progenitor has been completely severed. The Radiant Empire has announced its surrender." An Amman Federation's upper echelon hesitated for a while, then gritted his teeth and said, "Then let's surrender. In any case, the Heaven Holy is also a human, not one of the three races that have enmity with us." Another upper echelon echoed, "That's right, let's surrender. The Heaven Holy is too powerful. He's not an existence we can contend against." Voices of surrender rang in the conference room. When the Amman Federation's president saw this scene, he sighed slightly. As if all his strength was drained, he slumped in his seat. A day later, the Thorned Flower Federation announced its surrender and submitted to the Heaven Holy. Almost at the same time, the Radiant Empire announced its surrender and submitted to Yang Feng. 3 days later, the Amman Federation's president also announced his surrender and submitted to the Heaven Holy. Nominally, the whale origin continent was unified by Yang Feng. After the three empires announced their surrender, many rebellions broke out in various parts of the three empires. Many hot-blooded youngsters of the three empires joined the rebellions, forming a powerful rebellion. Chapter 12:36. The Federation has decayed, and the people at its top are a bunch of degenerate and rotten worms. They submitted to our mortal enemies, the three races, and want to hand us over to the three lowly races. This is absolutely intolerable. Our Thorned Flower Federation has excellent traditions, and the blood of our ancestors flows in our veins. Brothers, let us raise our banner, overthrow the decayed Federation, and create a brand new Federation. Long live the Federation. In a military base, a colonel dressed in a Thorned Flower Federation uniform stood on a rostrum and encouraged loudly. Long live the Federation. The more than 2,000 Federation soldiers below the rostrum also shouted excitedly and in unison. The three lowly races? Are you talking about our golden rocks? A ray of light flew over from afar, and a white shark warship arrived above the military base from 100 kilometers away in practically an instant. Dressed in the Golden Rock's armor, Peng Lang, looking like a golden god, flew out of the white shark armor with a golden halberd in his hand and looked loftily at the Thorned Flower Federation soldiers below. Behind Peng Lang, 1,000 Golden Rocks dressed in the Golden Rock's armor looked at the Thorned Flower Federation soldiers with hatred in their eyes. Kill these lowlifes. The Whale Origin continent is our continent. The Thorned Flower Federation colonel roared. A white armor appeared on his body, a special crystal spear appeared in his hand, and he fired at the Golden Rocks in the sky. The Thorned Flower Federation soldiers also fired at the Golden Rocks in the sky with crystal spears in their hands. A bunch of ants, despair in the face of the true Golden Rocks. A cold light flashed in Peng Lang's eyes. The big Golden Rock battle armor on his body shone, and a huge Golden Rock suddenly appeared, emitting a resplendent golden radiance. Golden feathers shot out from the body of the Golden Rock, blasting towards the Thorned Flower Federation warrior. Like meteors, the golden feathers shot towards the Thorned Flower Federation soldiers, easily piercing through their energy shields and burning them to ashes. The Golden Rock battle armor on the other Golden Rock race powerhouses also shone, forming a golden barrier to block the Crystal Stream Spear. Originally, the crystal spears could make an ordinary Golden Rocks lose their fighting strength with one shot. However, the defense of the Golden Rock's armor is terrifying. The crystal spears would need at least 5 or 6 shots to penetrate the armor. However, the warriors of the Thistle Flower Federation only had time to fire a shot before the warriors of the Golden Rock race closed in on them and beheaded them. The Thorned Flower Federation colonel shouted with a look of shock on his face, "How is this possible? How can this be? How can these lowly barbarian races have such powerful secret treasures?" The 3 ancient races are famous for their powerful bloodline power, and their secret treasures are the of the 3 empires. Under the guidance of their ancestors, the 3 empires had developed all sorts of incredible secret treasures, each of which was extremely powerful. The combat power of the White Shark-class battleship could even threaten a saint. The secret treasures that the Golden Rock race was equipped with were all extraordinary, far surpassing those of the 3 great empires. This caused the Thorned Flower Federation colonel to be filled with shock. The greatness of Lord Sky Sage is not something you trash can understand. A look of worship flashed in Peng Lang's eyes, and he smiled coldly. The huge golden rock he had transformed into spread its wings, and countless golden feathers gathered together, forming a golden saber that chopped down. "No! Our Thistle Flower Federation's secret treasure is invincible, this world's strongest secret treasure." The Thorned Flower Federation's colonel's eyes flashed with a trace of malevolence. With a loud roar, he waved his hand and a ball of silver light suddenly flew out. It expanded with the wind and transformed into a large silver net that swept towards Peng Lang. "This broken net is no longer effective against us." A sinister glint flashed in Peng Lang's eyes. He slashed with his golden saber, cutting through the silver net as if it was butter. He then took the opportunity to slash at the Thorned Flower Federation colonel. A line of blood extended from between the eyebrows of the Thorned Flower Federation colonel. In the next breath, he was split in 2 and turned into 2 corpses that fell to the ground. Seeing this, Peng Lang's eyes flashed with a hint of delight. The Thorned Flower Federation's colonel is only SOSO. Back then, any random colonel of the Thorned Flower Federation was a big shot to the entire Golden Rock race. Back then, the Golden Rock race had paid a huge price, losing 300 people to annihilate a Thorned Flower Federation colonel and his subordinate squad. But now, under the siege of over 1,000 Golden Rock race soldiers, the over 2,000 Thorned Flower Federation soldiers could not withstand a single blow. Peng Lang looked at the surrendering Thorned Flower Federation soldiers, and his eyes flashed with killing intent. He ordered coldly, "Leave no survivors, kill all these rebels." The eyes of the Golden Rock race powerhouses flashed with killing intent, and they mercilessly executed all the surrendering rebel soldiers. It didn't take long for all the rebels in the military base to be wiped out, not a single survivor. Inside a military base in the former Amon Federation, Zhou Yuning wore the exquisite Ink Phoenix battle armor, looking like a beautiful war goddess as she stood in the military base. In the military base, inextinguishable ink phoenix flames burned everywhere, burning the corpses of the rebels. An extremely beautiful young lady from the ink phoenix race walked up to Zhou Yuning and said excitedly with a face full of worship, "Army Commander, the 1,536 rebel soldiers have all been annihilated. Only 13 of our soldiers are injured and no one has died." At the time, the ink phoenix race was chased by the three empires to the point of no return. They could only hide in the mountains and act as barbarians. After Zhou Yuning sided with Yang Feng, she established the Ink Phoenix Corps and recruited Ink Phoenix clansmen everywhere. By now, she has recruited more than 3,000 Ink Phoenix powerhouses. Zhou Yuning said lightly, "Rest for a day, and then we'll go suppress a rebel army." That beautiful Ink Phoenix clan young lady replied loudly, "Yes, Commander." Yang Feng dispatched Zhou Yuning and Peng Lang, the two generals, to suppress the rebels of the three empires. The two of them were originally full of hatred for the powerhouses of the three empires. Now that they had a chance, they showed no mercy to the rebels. Once they defeated the other party, they would start a massacre, leaving no survivors. Manrattan, on the other hand, searched for families and forces that provided assistance to the rebels. Once a family was involved in the rebellion, he would find them and exterminate them. 3,000 kilometers west of the Radiant Empire's capital, the Radiant capital, there were more than a dozen experts hidden in the clouds. A golden-haired, blue-eyed, burly, handsome man with half of his face engraved with strange patterns looked into the distance and said coldly, "Ghost Eye, will Manrattan really come today?" The eyes of Ghost Eye, one of the Amon Federation's top 10 experts, flashed with hatred, and he gritted his teeth. "That Heaven Holy's lackey will definitely take this path. For this information, we lost 300 people. This damnable lackey is so vicious. He executed all of our brothers' families without mercy. He's truly too vicious." And Lin, the #1 expert of the Radiant Empire, said coldly, "Although the Heaven Holy is tyrannical, but our three empires are deeply rooted and have dominated for countless years. As long as we kill that Heaven Holy's lackey, Manrattan, he will have to compromise with us if he wants to take control of our three empires. People of lowly races are not allowed to appear in the mainstream society of this continent." The #2 expert of the Thorned Flower Federation, Ghost Eye, wearing a strange mask, said coldly, "They're here." A white shark warship flew over from afar towards the Radiant capital. "Attack!" The more than a dozen top experts from the three empires hiding in the clouds took action. Beams of light emerged from the clouds and barreled towards the white shark warship. Countless mysterious runes appeared on the white shark warship and formed a powerful barrier. The peerlessly terrifying beams of light slammed into the barrier, shattering it in a single strike. Countless tentacles extended from an expert wearing an armor made of countless tentacles and stabbed at the white shark warship. When the strange tentacles stabbed at the white shark warship strangely stopped struggling, as if it had completely stopped functioning. "Come out, Manrattan." The dozen-plus powerhouses in the clouds surrounded him and said coldly. The door of the white shark warship opened, and Manrattan slowly walked out. Looking at the dozen experts in the clouds, his eyes flickered with a peculiar light, and he said, "The #1 expert of the Radiant Empire, and Lin, the #3 expert of the Thorned Flower Federation, Ghost Eye, the #2 expert of the Thorned Flower Federation, the #9 expert of the Amon Federation, Ghost Eye. I didn't expect that you would send so many people to kill me." The dozen or so experts in the clouds were all renowned experts of the Whale Yuan continent. Every single one of them was far stronger than Manrattan in the past. "Manrattan, since you're working for the Heaven Holy, you should have thought of this day. Anyone who betrayed the three empires would only have a path of death." A cold ray flashed in Lin's eyes, and he ordered decisively. In an instant, the dozen experts of the three empires unleashed all kinds of fearsome secret methods barreling towards Manrattan, wanting to kill Yang Feng's #1 lackey. A pitiful smile appeared on Manrattan's face, and he crushed a gem. The biggest mistake you idiots made was to make an enemy of his lord. The void cracked, and a devouring black hole emerged and swept towards the dozen-plus powerhouses of the three empires. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.